New Earth
been
Eater.
a long time.
New Earth Eater is very Bjork. You could talk. Brain and I were
Bjork
like,
is the best.
She's faking an Icelandic accent.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it is honestly insane how influential Bjork is.
Yeah.
Like the MoMA had a Bjork show, probably in 2000 and I don't know. This wasn't that long ago, maybe 2015 or something, maybe even like later than that. But it was so controversial because it's like the Museum of fucking Modern Art. You know what I mean? Like this huge institution. And I believe the curator had dated or was currently dating Bjork. And so it was like kind of this weird conflict of interest.
Yep.
But it was all, I didn't go see it, but it was all like her costumes. And at the time, I remember thinking, oh, this is like silly. You know, they don't need to have a Bjork show at MoMA. Like, that's like, it's kind of silly. However, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I'm like, honestly, that's the kind of fucking show I want to see at MoMA. You know, I think that's like interesting.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I didn't go see it. So it's like, I have no real opinion on what was actually displayed. But
you're talking about the one up in
New York, in New York City, Museum of Modern
not the
Art.
MFA in Boston.
No, I was thinking the one up near Greenfield. Mocha.
Oh, Mass Mocha. Mass Mocha is beautiful.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
An amazing museum.
Gwen Stefani played there
shit.
this past summer.
Dude, it's crazy.
So
Recording already? Yeah. Yeah.
I really got lost in just writing a whole paragraph as if I'm just going to.
Well, we should make it official. Welcome to Hive Scum.
Welcome.
Grim and gritty podcast for that beautiful 28 community. Welcome back.
Like sand in your underwear.
We don't go away. We're like, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, we're like gum on your shoe, motherfuckers. You can't get rid of us.
Steve, can
You're
you
like
wipe the
stepping in
Nuln
dog
oil off
shit.
your face?
No.
Yeah, Steve came prepared for battle today. But anyways, Bjork rocks, Mass Mocha rocks, MoMA, good.
Mid.
I like MoMA. MoMA just had the Pinocchio show, right? That was MoMA? Yeah. I'm 90% sure that was MoMA.
There was some...
and the Pinocchio show was fucking awesome. Fucking so awesome.
That was the one you went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro with, I forget, it's like Shadow Theater or something, did all of the props for them. But like just the amount of work that goes into making all of the little stop motion miniatures to make that, and then having them all on display where they're like lighting up how they do in the movie. So you can see like how they get the effects of it becoming day and night in Geppetto's workshop. And you're like, this is so fucking cool. And just getting to see that in 3D. It was... Honestly, I feel like they should have had more stuff displayed, but that's probably just because I liked it so much.
The effect of like being starstruck, I'll say, I think is way cooler to me in a prop form than it is like a person.
What do you mean?
Like so I think I've talked about this on the pod. I tried to buy the shotgun from Constantine when it went up on the Real Props auction site.
Yeah, you talked about this. What was the story with this? I don't think you talked about it on the pod.
I put my max budget of like $2,000 for this thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get it because it was at like $100, and obviously it went. For
How much did it go for?
Like 14 or 12 or something. It was it was over 10. So I was like, no fucking way. But
dude, this is amazing how rich people are sometimes, where they're just like, yeah, I'll take that.
I have the shotgun. Yeah, but the thing is, what I'm saying, I'm more starstruck from the fact that this prop from the movie, like if I saw Keanu Reeves,
it's a physical totem that's yours. If you see Keanu Reeves, you're like, at best, you're gonna go punish him. At worst, you can be like, oh shit, that's Keanu Reeves.
Exactly.
A prop is something that you can physically own and hold. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and especially if it's like
for me,
shotgun.
Have you looked up replicas?
No, I mean at this point I would make one.
I was gonna say totally. Just
at this point I would Adam Savage the fuck out of it. And make it,
hell yeah, dude! I love those fucking videos.
It's because you saying that made me think about how I wanted to buy a Dade Murphy's jacket from Hackers so badly.
There's a jacket site that
they have it. I found it.
Yeah,
it was like $300,
like replica jackets,
yeah,
kind of thing. Oh, that's kind of cool.
And they had Angelina Jolie's sick backpack on there too from the movie.
I don't remember her.
Yeah, I don't remember her backpack.
It's really
either.
spiky and cool.
Oh, sounds dangerous.
You mean his Dade Murphy's like leather jacket that he wears?
Yeah,
yeah, that's a cool jacket.
Speaking of jackets, and the one you're wearing right now in this very warm room, who are you?
What?
What?
I'm Terry.
I was trying to make that the
What a-
worst
what a
segue
really
possible.
fucked up segue.
I was trying to make it as
segue.
corny as possible.
Terry's wearing
amazing.
a blouse.
Yeah, I'm wearing sort of a tunic, if you will.
Yeah, a tabard only.
Yeah.
I pulled the backpack up.
He's wearing a
Oh yes, dude.
It's way more cyberpunk and cool than I thought.
Let me see it.
Really cool. Even now, that would be.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be
Real
pretty
freak
cool
shit.
now.
Yeah, what's your name?
Speaking of cyberpunk and cool, who are you?
I am Terry. I'm Stone.John. Instagram.
I'm Steve at South of Heaven.
I'm Phil. Blood.
And I'm Gage at No Clear Coat.
Dude, good to be back.
We're here. We're
I
in.
feel like
I feel like it was yesterday.
I mean,
Kind of was.
kind of. It was.
Oh yeah, we recorded only a week ago.
Yeah. Normally we do every
We got
2 weeks.
we got to
and
catch
then-
up. But we
But now I can
we
just schedule.
we
this
had a
for-
chance to record, so we got to jump on. it.
Exactly.
Oh, totally. There was something that we were talking about before Constantine. Sorry, I just sneezed and blew up all over
You
the
guys were
microphone.
talking. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention until you started talking
Bjork.
about Constantine.
Yeah, we were talking about Bjork.
Starstruck.
Starstruck. Maybe it was something that.
I don't know.
Anyways, we'll just keep going. Maybe it'll come back to me. But people just being rich. People
Yes.
buying like random shit like that and just being like, yeah, this is a thing I want to like probably sit in a closet somewhere to like never display. Like people
It's like
are
half the shit
dummy
I own.
rich.
Yeah.
It's Instagram, which is a disease, and it's just like awful to be
Yeah.
on it. I go and like post something, and then I just get sucked into reels. I was watching these reels where it's just people being like, "Tell us about your fit. What are you wearing today?"
yeah,
and it's just like interviewing some guy, and he's like, "Oh, these pants. These are Rick Owens
But it's
pants."
people that are like dressed real fucked up, right?
they
I
just
literally
look
know
crazy.
the account you're talking about. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just like these are $5,000. I got them for $3,000. This shirt is Dolce Gabbana 2004. I got it for $2,000, but you know what I mean. That was a good deal because it goes for 15 on some sites or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? What
yeah,
the
like you're
fuck?
just in another world of money that
Yeah.
like a shirt is this much money. It's like, yeah, you know, whatever.
I wonder
I
what
picked it up.
what level of person looks at us. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy these GW models for $50," and they're like, "Dude, who is doing that? Oh my god!" It's the same level of
What do you mean?
awe that we're looking at these people buying.
I look at people
Oh.
that go buy GW stuff
Yes,
like
dude.
that.
I really, I always like. I wish I could buy a box of GW models straight from the shelf,
Like
and
not even
care.
kit bash. Like there's no bullshit. Just buy it off the shelf.
I don't care because I it's such a luxury good.
I know, but
Yeah.
I like look at it and be like, okay, well, I'll save up some money. And like even now, like with a full-time job, I'll be like, if I put away $10 every paycheck for the next 2.5 months, I'll have $50 to go buy this thing, and then I'll feel good. And then I never buy it. I just never end up buying it, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, well, it's different. I don't think about my finances at all. I just I do.
Yeah,
I avoid any sort of luxury spending on things like that. Well, maybe that's not a great word so as far as luxury goes, I was just thinking the other day, like if I have the option of spending $10 on several pounds of like vegetables to cook, or spending $12 on a pre-made salad, you fucking better believe I'm buying that pre-made salad.
that's
so I don't
most
have
people.
to worry
I
about
would
it.
say.
But like buying things for myself, like models, a freaking cool shirt, trinkets, things, things to just own. I withhold that from myself a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why I do this. I get like kind of like anxiety about making a purchase when I'm buying something.
I've
that's,
witnessed
It's fun because
that with you.
I
Dude,
watch
it's
you
hard.
spend so much money on so many things.
Like what? What do I blow my money on?
I mean, I guess a house and fixing up the house. Things that's all right. So maybe they're necessary things. All right.
But like that, what's that fucking vulture model that I've been wanting for
Gobsmack.
fucking
Gobsprack.
Godsmack.
I've wanted that thing
standalone.
forever, and I just
Nice.
and I every time I pick it up, I'm like, I want this, but I don't want it for $140.
I was
And
literally
then-
about to say that. I watched you do that when we were in Virginia.
Yeah,
But
why
it
don't
was
you do
half
that multiple
price.
times?
You
was
could have got
half-
it for
was like-
$70.
I think it was less.
and you went, or Mike or Blurs was like, "Are you sure you don't want this?" And you were like, "Yeah,
If I didn't, we should have just fucking bought it for him.
we should have."
I was
Yeah,
I was
that would've
about to
actually been a good
message
idea.
Mike and be like, "Hey, when you come to Nemo, can you just bring that? I'll give you
Is that
money."
still here?
Well, they had like 4 of them on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys can judge me when I buy that Cities box.
I'll never judge you. I don't care. I'll buy box sets.
I'm buying
Dude,
it.
as soon as they do like a range refresh on Flesh Eater Courts, I'm going all in.
All
That's
in?
going to be my second fantasy army.
I keep meaning to ask you, like, just text you, but I have you here now, and I thought of it. Are you going to play Warhammer 6th Edition with us at Nemo?
No.
No?
I mean, is someone going to, if you supply me with a rank and flank army?
just use your
Sure.
fucking Beastmen. I'll give you some trays.
Some trade? Yeah, sure, why not?
Like some round to square looking
No,
trays.
just
Is that
fucking
how it
regular
works?
tray, and you just put your guys in.
And you just put the guys on there.
As long as no one cares, sure, why not?
I don't think anyone.
I'll play
cares.
it.
I'm gonna care.
You're not even playing.
I'm gonna care.
Actually, you are playing.
Or you just gonna
Yeah, my orcs are literally. I just have to paint them. They're done.
'Cause
I think we
Ian-
were quantifying it the other day. I have like 3,000 points.
You guys, that's so crazy. It looks like not that much.
Yeah, compared to newer
Yeah.
army game.
like small army I have on my table being
Yes.
3,000 points.
Yes.
is,
Well,
like,
I
It's
think
cool.
it's very
Chaos
funny.
is a very elite, because Gage's 3,000 points of orcs is a lot
Yeah.
more models.
Yeah,
you're gonna
the-
have to airbrush that shit or primer them green. And
No,
just-
I
would.
I know
I
the
would totally do
the
it.
very easy way to do it because I'm not going crazy with that. What your great and clean one? You're using the is that the first ever sculpt?
Is that the
I-
first ever sculpt?
No,
I'm
I don't
not
think
sure.
It's still just like a
It's
ping pong.
old.
It's a ping pong ball with like shit on
Yeah,
it.
it's
He is
old.
sick.
And it's what 300 points.
645.
Dude, so my point exactly. Now you know. You're like, okay, well that's half my fucking army right there. Like,
Which I don't think I'm going to take him. I think I'm going to take some more troops just to
yeah,
diversify.
just to make it look cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they were like, even way back to be like, this is 600 points. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
that's
it's
not
such
that
a little
long
model.
ago. 6th edition was mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I feel like early
2006.
Early 2000. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's when
because it
Sixth
came
Edition
out after more time.
I learned about
Okay.
the hobby during 6th
'Cause-
edition.
Okay, because I know. So then, 7th edition fantasy battle must have been very brief.
I'm Gage.
Yeah,
pull
look
it
at
up.
the years that these things.
Jamie, pull it up.
Well, we just did the other day. We were looking up when Age of Sigmar took over.
Yeah,
What was that? 2005 or
2015 no,
something?
15.
Oh, 2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that makes way more sense. Yeah. I don't know. Even talking, I need a direction with my hobby. I have no direction right now, and it's.
I want
honestly
to see
getting
your
a little
wood
bit-
elves. Your fucking undead looking shit.
Oh, I know, baby.
Sticks
I
from the
know.
yard,
I know.
treants.
You got.
I
have
make
regular
some
wood
more
elves if
scary
you
dead
want some.
stuff.
Dude, I've got
I know,
I've got
I know.
sticks in
You
my
can use
yard
it.
you can use.
I know. I really, you know what I need is to like organize things a little bit better where it's like, okay, when I finish this, you know, like seeing Steve's, all of his chaos shit just like out on the table. I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Like I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
seeing them like this. And I'm like, I feel like I've never seen my models all out
Arrayed,
on a shelf.
yes, arrayed as an army lined
Yeah.
up for battle. Yeah, that's the coolest thing.
And it's like I
part.
fill this fucking thing up with like garbage. Like my little display case
Okay,
is just like,
first of all-
well, not, but
Don't call it garbage.
well, you know
that's
what
my
I mean.
friend Terry's
Yeah,
model.
I
dude.
get what you mean, though. Where
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
well,
have
it's
a
kind of
full
just
army.
it's
They're just directionless models. No,
Yes.
I just grab and paint, which is fine, but I need some sort of direction.
I mean, that's why I've been really loving doing the brothers stuff because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just paint 5 guys that look really cool, and
Yeah.
now I paint their bases this color, and they just go in with the rest of them.
And you can still just run them as Space Marines or honestly whatever.
Yep.
You know, it'll all look really cool when we get that space this week.
And that's very true.
6th edition came out in 2000. I'm
This
sorry, I
week, you
lied.
think we're
I
gonna go
think
check it
so.
out?
yeah. I'm right like
7th
90% of the
edition
time.
was
so-
2006. I was right about
Yeah,
the
there you
year,
go.
just the wrong edition.
Can we get people stoked on this space, or is it like
Dude, I
counting?
think
our
No.
if
chickens
we
before they
manifest
hatch?
it,
by
right now-
talking about
Yeah.
it, but what if we just
Everyone-
let down a bunch of people?
everyone hum for 30 seconds.
yeah.
That's got to be 30.
That was sick, actually. It
So,
sounded
all right,
really
so
good.
now
yeah.
it's in reality.
So
We have
one
it.
of America's many failing malls near us
yes,
has lots of spaces for very affordable.
yeah, because
Price.
nobody wants to be
Yeah.
in the mall.
It's in an awful
Large
we
spot.
don't
space.
mind being in the mall because it's got the movie theater.
well,
Dude,
we
we're gonna
we
go
don't mind
Auntie
being in the
Anne's
mall.
and shit.
Oh, dude, there's actually
but-
a really good
Chinese
like
face.
Greek spot in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good.
Fucking
Year.
love
so
Greek food.
sick.
So when you say a good Greek spot, is this like a real restaurant or is this
It's a restaurant.
Okay, it's not
Like
a
there's
kiosk.
seating and stuff.
Wow,
It's on your
okay.
way to walk when you park on the side with the Target and walk through. To
I've
the
never been in
movies.
that mall in my life.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
me
park on
either,
the
I don't
Target
think-
side and walk through the mall to go to the movies, it's on the way to the movies.
Okay.
So, anyways, this failing mall, and one of the many failing malls that as Gage attests to, we
That was me that said that. You fucking son of a bitch.
Well, you know what I mean. But
I wasn't going to correct him.
we've been in contact with them, and they're willing to actually like give us a good size space, probably the biggest space of any of the spaces
we've
we've
looked
checked
at,
out
yeah.
so far, for one of the more affordable prices that we've looked at so far. Our
It's somehow almost smack dab in the middle of all of us.
yeah.
Which is exactly why I've kept looking in those areas.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And there's a movie theater attached, plus food,
Popcorn,
plus like,
anytime.
it started
on
as a joke,
demand.
all of us being like, dude, what if we were in the mall? And
Oh,
we're like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
we're going to have a
Yeah. So
store
now
gonna
it's
call
a
them.
it's a matter of finding a time to go look at the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy seems like a fucker.
Yeah.
But I can't
You know, so I
imagine-
think all of our listeners, please, I want you to tell Gage and Steve to swallow their pride and just go fucking look at the space when the guy wants to look at it
I
or
have
wants
to
to let
go
you
to
see
work.
it, and not when is the most convenient for you.
I
well,
gave
hey,
him
listen.
8 days to choose from, and he said, "Yeah, Wednesday." And I was like, "Wednesday was not an option. Wednesday was not a choice."
There's only 7 days in the week.
Yeah, I gave him from the day I contacted him on Thursday until next Friday,
Wednesday is one of those days.
but I listed what days I could do.
yeah.
He clarified Wednesday was pretty much the only day. He could.
Wednesday
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Monday
okay.
were the,
The guy
only
was
days I
like,
couldn't
yeah,
go.
no, we're doing it. And it was like, well,
I mean, we'll work it out, but I imagine, like, in my head, I imagine any storefront in the mall just being, because they're all just like big open spaces.
Yes.
which would be like perfect for having like
there's a
little
lot of churches
areas.
in that mall now, too.
Yeah.
Probably has a
Dude, Paul-
bathroom in there.
Paul
like an
saying that he
employee
got
bathroom.
his CDL in a mall is so funny to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
There's
it's
probably
gonna
a bathroom in there. There's probably a little like
Well, the
room
mall
in the
has
back.
bathrooms.
Yeah, there's a food court. There's still a food court.
That's true, but we probably like any place I worked in the mall pretty much
Chipotle
had
across
their
the
own
street?
bathrooms too for
Mall,
employees.
Mall,
Yeah,
mall, mall.
So like,
And just
I know it's
being
hard,
able to
dude.
hang
Remember
out.
when
know.
you worked at a mall?
I've worked many jobs at the mall. I worked at
That's
Forever
wild.
21.
Yep.
Wow.
I worked at
didn't
Sears
know that.
Portrait
Yep.
Studio.
That's when I met you, when you had that job.
I think so too. I think you worked at Sears Portrait Studio.
dude, which was a crazy job. I honestly think that might be the only two places I worked
Could
in
you
the mall.
take
And like,
some,
I'm like, I worked many places.
did my time.
but it
could
was
you take
just
some
those
cool
two.
photos like that for me?
What do you mean,
Like
like
the
Portrait
Sears portrait
Studio?
shit?
Dude, they had very expensive equipment actually
with
in
your
Sears
camera.
Portrait.
I don't care.
But like that's the thing is I don't have the access to that kind of equipment. The reason that Sears Portrait Studios
I gotta turn that off.
Time to wake up,
dude,
Steven.
Time to wake up. It's
That's Haley.
1:30.
That's Haley leaving the house. You guys want to spy on her?
Oh yeah, the Ring camera.
Dude, watching Josh just fall over himself on the Ring camera. You guys want to watch?
Shout out, homie Josh.
Wait, I thought he was lying down. He falls.
I mean, he's like stumbling around.
We are watching Steve's girlfriend live.
Oh, now we're watching the party last night.
We're watching the review.
Our friend just
Oh yeah, just rolling around
rolling
drunk on
around
the porch.
drunk. on the porch.
So oh my god, just crawling around on the porch. Can you see the part where
That's
he
good footage.
projectile
You gotta-
vomits? Oh, there's me coming in, being
No,
like,
that
you
was
did-
Stepping over
That
his
was
body.
Chloe,
Oh.
just like
I came in
avoiding him.
and was just like, hey, bro, do you need a pillow? And he was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just stretching out.
Can you send the footage to him to put in the YouTube video?
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
All right. Cool.
I've got I think I'm on episode 7 now. Once I hit 10, I'm going to put the first 10 up, and then
Oh, they're not uploading.
Oh,
it.
nice,
No.
nice.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, it's a
gotcha.
good way to do it, though. But
Yeah.
Sears Portrait Studio equipment, very expensive. You know what I mean? They left it all there. When they closed as a company, I like snuck back there. I went to the mall that I used to work at and snuck back to where they had it like, clothes in front of it where
Yeah,
you couldn't
yeah.
see it. Went back there. Camera was still there.
Should've
All
just
of the
taken
light
it.
fixtures, like the lighting, that
sure
was
it's still there.
The computers were all still there. Like all the parts of the process were just sitting right there. And I'm like, man, I really should just take this, but I didn't.
yeah, I mean that's like big felony money.
Yeah, it's like thousands of dollars worth of
Yeah,
equipment.
that's like a jail time. Not just like
Yeah.
a hee stealing.
But it just is a shame that all of this, and on top of that, the fucking the backdrops. The backdrops,
Right, the backdrops alone.
As a kid, you got like the little ones that
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
roll up. You could probably pick up those $40 on Amazon. But the big ones with the mechanism that you would hit a switch and it would go and
Yep,
come all the
yep.
way down onto the ground. Those shits are so much fucking money. Yeah.
And it would be perfect to take pictures of models on these tens of
Giant
thousands
things.
of dollars of backdrops.
I know.
You've been sick.
So yes, to answer your question, it's making them look like.
The Sears
I mean, you could
catalog.
stage photos and it'll look like a staged photo, but to make them look like you're getting hit from light from both sides and making it look like it's like a school photo is not. I don't think it's super easy. Maybe some people have like little hacks, but I can't do it.
I
really.
still have 2 light boxes.
Studio's gonna have a whole lightroom set up.
Yeah, I was saying
Yeah,
I still have
that
2
would be a
light
good
boxes
idea.
from BMX filming shit. We could.
maybe
just
we
been
can
sitting in
rig
my
up
garage,
something
yeah.
like that. You could probably do it. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, I could problem solve my way to make it look like Sears Porter Studio. So the answer, Steve, is now yes. We
doing
can make those photos. I've gone full circle, and I think I could do it. But yeah, malls. Malls are cool.
Why are they dying? Because of Amazon?
Yeah.
Just retail in general. People
just
people
Amazon?
just get things shipped to their house. I mean, primarily Amazon, but anything will ship stuff straight to your house.
So you think like Sears and Macy's and shit, they're failing because they just didn't catch up fast enough?
Yeah, but
Correct.
Kohl's still does all that shit. Like Kohl's is alive. And
Yeah.
well.
I feel like only the strong will survive in situations like that. If
Things
5
like that
of them
too
fail,
is that
one
you
will
also have to
stay.
consider what is the sort of demographic that's shopping there. If Kohl's is something that maybe lower income people,
It's
are
only old
using-
ladies.
I mean,
Yeah, old
Kohl's is,
people-
like,
Yeah.
discounted Adidas tracksuits and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you get some good
Old
stuff
ladies
in there.
love Adidas tracksuits.
Dude, me too.
Steve is an old lady, confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even when malls were there, I feel like every place, because it's like I was working in the mall and I would go talk to like the guys at Zoomies who were working there, and like the manager at Zoomies was always like worried that he wasn't going to make his like goal for the month, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Corporate executes him out back.
Yeah, I just don't know what level of money you have to make to keep a storefront running. Like how much merchandise you must have to sell to keep a storefront going.
Well, if the rent is, I mean, how much is rent for like a Zoomies?
Well, back in the day, it must have been a lot. They couldn't
Yeah.
have. They couldn't.
I'm
It
sure
must
those
have been
spaces were like 2 Gs.
I mean,
gotta
look
be,
at Theory.
at least.
Theory moves all the time in the
Yeah,
Holyoke Mall
yeah.
because they get cheaper rent for doing it.
Right, right.
Yeah. And it's like to have that overhead where you're like, okay, not only do I have to pay my Zoomies employees, I have to pay the rent, and I have, and then Zoomies as a company is running this, but at what point does Zoomies as a company pull out of there and go like,
yeah,
it's
the
not
store
worth
is
it.
not profitable.
Yeah.
Let's pull it.
Let's even just go get a store in like a shopping, like an outdoor strip mall.
That's why
Yeah.
it's funny because there are.
Because strip
Still-
malls still do well, I think, right? Like
Oh, I don't know.
got
thing
an
is,
elite
bad.
outlet and stuff.
I think
like all that shit.
I don't know if maybe just like destination malls are more of the thing because the perspective I have is I grew up right next to the West Farms Mall.
Mm-hmm.
For those not in the
Uneducated.
Hartford County, Connecticut, it is a high end mall that has like fucking like Swarovski and
I forgot
like
about
Louis
that
Vuitton
shit.
stores
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That is not a failing mall. There are no
No.
empty storefronts there. There never have been. There's also no food court. It's they don't want fucking
Right, right.
they don't want rapscallions hanging out.
Damn, I never even realized that the mall doesn't have a food court.
They got a
It
Dave &
has
Buster's,
food.
though.
It has
Do they have a Dave and Buster's there?
Yeah, right.
At
West
the
Farms
West Farm?
absolutely not. Never has.
Oh, but
what's the
it's
one
a
on
Manchester Mall, I think.
Maybe that.
Yeah, West Farms is
And that's
right
also
by.
technically not the mall. It's across the street.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the one that has level 99 and all that shit in it?
Is that Holyoke?
Oh, that's a
No.
whole. I think that is a
What
whole.
is
No,
level
no.
99?
That's round one. that you're
Oh,
thinking.
that is. Yeah,
level 99 is like a
numbers and names.
Also
escape
an arcade?
room, like game show fucking place. It's actually very fun.
I've never done an escape room. I don't think I have
Really?
any interest. Yeah.
I did one time, and I went into it thinking it was going to be like us sitting in chairs trying to figure out a puzzle on a table, and I was like, the level of detail that has gone into just this random side of the road building to
Yeah,
make this
yeah.
experience immersive.
We should
was
do one.
It was surprisingly cool.
Yeah, no, I've done 2 now, and both of them were just like really sketchy back alley shit, and you're like, okay, whatever.
How could this
Yeah, I'll
be?
pay the $20 and get over it, and
Yeah.
then insanely surprised both times. It's like opening doors, pulling bricks out of the wall to be like,
so
what is
cool.
happening? Like, oh, there's a key back here,
It feels like something that could be really.
and they're always like
Cringe,
they're
you know?
immersive as shit.
I feel
Yeah.
like it would be giving me anxiety.
No, it's like, oh,
It's cool.
you need to.
Can you Kool-Aid Man your way out if you
once
yeah,
don't want
there's
to be
like
in
a,
there anymore?
There's like a scare door.
No,
Let me out!
You're locked in. You can't leave.
there's a.
I'm not
definitely a
even
panic
claustrophobic,
bucket.
but I feel like I would get bored.
I'm very claustrophobic, and I was fine.
And you know what? Like the puzzles aren't. At least the one I did, I was just like, this isn't that hard. You know, it wasn't.
Oh,
but
we-
I have
we
heard
did
of
one-
hard ones.
So the first time we met Jersey Jeff, actually,
Shout out.
we went and did one down there, but there was like 14 of us in a room, and it only was harder. It was moderately difficult anyway, but it was only harder because you have 14 people. Someone picks up
Everyone
a
wants to
clue.
turn.
Someone picks up a
14
clue and just
people?
forgets about it and just like puts it somewhere else.
Wait,
And
you
then-
did it with 14 people?
Yeah.
That's a big group.
They
to
were
do
like, we
something
normally
that.
like cap it at 10 because like
Yeah.
it's meant for a larger group.
Well, trying to communicate with 14 people.
But that's the thing. We're like, well, where did the key go that was behind this brick? And then someone's like, oh, I think I found that. Yeah, right when we walked in, I saw it loose, so I grabbed it and put it over there. And you're like, well, what the fuck? We've been looking for it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, somebody's just been texting the whole time because there's 14 fucking
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, actually, I had this clue in my pocket.
Yeah, people are just. We ate a shitload of sushi that
Edibles.
day, so it was
was
just
gonna
like everyone's farting and gassing out this room.
No,
so
it's so
it was
small.
What the
bad.
fuck kind of sushi is making you fart?
I don't know.
That's
I feel
true.
like
I
4
wasn't-
people is like the cap you want.
That one was rated for 10 people. But
Holy shit!
I know, right? 4 people is where I would kind of
Speaking
draw
of
the line.
sushi, we should get sushi at my zoo later.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a very good
The
idea.
one in is there one around here?
TBS.
There is
Next
We're
to
on the
Battle-
TBS after.
I was confusing Meizu with
there's a place up the street we
I
can
think
always
like
go to.
Mecha Noodle.
Sushi
or something
rocks.
Like that.
That's
Sushi
pronounced
does rock.
Mecha, by the way.
Mecha.
Yeah.
Oh,
According
is
to
it?
who?
According to the
Mecha
people
rocks.
that own the place.
Mecha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Mecha does rock. And they have cheap food for, I don't know.
Now,
We're in the hungry
does, TBS,
part of the
does
podcast.
our TBS
so I'm
homies
trying to
listen
move
to a
past it.
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who- besides Dakota,
Nick.
Oh, I don't know.
Nick does.
Yeah.
I know Sam listens.
Shit.
Sam definitely listens.
Do you think that we will still go to Battle Standard when we have our own space? Besides buying stuff.
Yeah,
when
well,
we
I mean, I
yeah,
would.
shit.
I think the vibe of playing in a store, it's the same thing with Magic. You can
Yeah.
play Commander with your friends, and you can have a different
Yep.
experience than going and doing a pickup game at Magic, or even just playing with adjacent people.
Yeah.
Because I know we aren't the ones that are like looking for a table for Commander nights or
Never in
anything.
my life.
And we don't do that with Warhammer or anything.
I
but
personally, you know, as you know, big as our group of friends here immediately is, I don't like playing against the same people and the same
Yes.
armies over
Yes.
and over.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
That's why like
Gets boring.
the thing too is like that's why I have such like a big Beastmen collection too. Is that every time I play, I always want to
You
try
gotta mix it up.
completely
Yeah,
different
yeah.
list.
I get that.
always want to do something different.
So I think the dynamic of us playing in the studio. I mean, also you have to think.
I asked because Dakota asked.
Yeah, no. So I think shout out Dakota, but I
Shout
think
out for
that
Dakota.
no matter what, we play so many fucking games.
Yeah.
I think like that is my biggest takeaway of like how lucky.
I don't.
No, we twist your arm.
that's true.
But I think we're very lucky in that fact that we play so many games that
Yeah.
the studio would probably be like a different game a day.
Yeah.
Probably. Now,
Plus all the boards we're gonna have in
Yeah.
there.
when you were in England, Ramshackle Studio, there's a studio above it, and they had boards set up in there. What was
Yes.
the vibe like? Do you think that they played every
Well,
day
they
on
were
those
playing.
boards?
They were playing a Age of Sigmar tournament that day.
Okay, so that was good.
so
But
it was a little
only
different.
a couple of boards, though, right?
No,
No,
they had like at
They-
least
they have
6
a pretty
tables.
yeah. They had another room with like 6 printers that also had like I think 2 or
So
3
there were
tables.
2 tables when you walked in.
Yep.
4 in the
One of
room
them was
that
like a
we were in.
synthwave table, and at first I was like, "This is kind of not my vibe." And then when we were walking by it the second time, I was like, "This is actually very sick."
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
The
Looked
level
like,
of, little
Louise's
detail.
stuff, kind of.
Yeah, just like a
Oh,
really
that's
in your
probably
face
why.
color scheme, but it was sick. But the vibe was still very game store chill. Like,
But you think that they play on there every like?
I mean, that's
you
their
think that
that's their
there's-
job.
I mean, yeah, they're
so they're
content
there-
creators. That's
they're
what they're
there.
doing. But
I wish we could do that just every day. Like, fuck a job.
yeah, dude, fuck jobs.
Fuck a job.
Fuck jobs, just let me play Warhammer all day.
Yeah,
Dude, if I could.
How
if
many
I
times
could,
would that have been said in the history of this hobby?
Oh.
Just like, man, I wish I could just fucking paint models all day and play Warhammer. Dude, that's everybody's dream.
Dude,
We'll get there.
you know what I'm gonna do when we get the studio? I'm gonna set up a little paint
Subsidized gamers.
Yeah.
station. That sounds
Yeah.
really familiar.
what were you gonna?
yeah.
I'm gonna set up a Twitch channel. I'm gonna be painting on there. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm just gonna be a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, here's the thing: don't do that till you're making income,
Yeah.
or just don't
I
do
don't-
that.
or just have a job and
I-
then do that.
Yeah,
The idea of being responsible for making the income like come in myself is
Oh, God.
is way scarier than
Yeah.
just working a job that sucks ass.
Well, I mean,
knowing for sure that I'm going to get a paycheck.
We had this talk
Yes.
kind of the other day in the group chat. Not to expose the chat, but we were like, should we be talking about certain things on the pod? But it's like, this isn't our income. We,
Oh,
we-
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we
I
can
don't-
have
so just
opinions
to clarify,
on-
because in our
China
last,
cast
yes,
is cool.
Our last episode, we were talking about bootlegs, and then when we're in the to peek behind the curtain during the editing phase of the episode, you're like, should we cut that? Is like what is
like,
any?
how
Are we going to
controversial
get
is
in
that?
trouble? Is that a controversial thing to
is the
talk about?
caster going to get in trouble? Is this
Yeah,
That was
is-
my biggest
yeah, is-
concern. Was
yeah.
like it's going to get tracked.
Is
back.
GW going to send
The hit squad.
the
Yeah.
hit
The
squad to
Pinkertons.
yeah? Listen, the Pinkertons show up in Chengdu, China.
Pinkertons ain't
they're not going to make it in. Okay.
Yeah, they're not letting the Pinkertons in.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, because
Or are we going to stifle any chance we have at access or anything like that?
Right,
And
right.
We don't care.
no, the fact is that we still have a full-time job. We can have a harsh opinion on something, or an
Yes.
opinion that is probably unpopular
For
with
clarity, I will never quit my job.
Yeah, me
with,
neither.
with
I
a
don't- I
corporate
mean,
company that is
I
overseeing this
quit
hobby.
jobs all the time. I can't make that promise.
Yeah,
That
same.
But I
being
will.
said-
I promise to you, listener, I will never make this my income stream.
That
Yeah.
being said, if someone over at Monument is listening right now and wants to send us that
simple.
paint
Oh, we'll take
range,
product, dude. For
Well,
freaking
we
sure.
would love it. We already use your stuff. I would love to get the full box set though.
The fact that we're like, nah, dude, we could have harsh opinions, but if anyone wants to give us free shit, please.
Yeah.
No, I
hey, I'll
love
give a
free
solid
shit.
opinion on stuff, even if it's free.
Yeah, send us your stuff. We'll review it, and
But I'm gonna like it no
I'm
matter
not
what.
going to pay for it.
I use fucking folk art paint for my black. Like I'm gonna
that's
like
'cause it's
whatever.
really good.
It is really good.
It's very matte.
It's so nice. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the perks of having, and I think about this a lot. And honestly, there was somebody with a question that goes
I
along with this.
was
very
literally
well.
just trying to write that down on the piece of paper.
So
Normally,
you're getting a question now.
Normally we wait for the questions for the Hive section, but someone, asked
was
a
just
question
like-
that is perfectly in line with this conversation anyway.
Yeah, who you were saying it before? And
So-
you were like, oh, this would be a fun, or like just a.
We're
hard one
we're
to
off the
answer.
rails today. We didn't even talk about what we're doing.
We'll
what we're
do
working
that
on.
after.
Yeah, we'll do it
We'll do it
after,
backwards. Bizarro Land episode. So, Cupboard of Shame asked, "How are you going to balance your punk sensibilities with the pressure of being quote unquote influencers?"
So the first thing, So I
Phil first because he wrote it all down.
I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget because
Here,
I
you
have
wanna
to write
yours
things
down
down
so you don't forget it.
The first thing is that I
think about
want
this shit
to
all the time.
I want to push back on the phrase influencers. I
Yeah,
know he
yeah,
threw
yeah,
it in scare quotes, but
Yes.
influencers, I think
Sure.
the term implies that you are influencing your audience to spend their money on a certain way. We're
Bullshit.
trying to influence people to steal shit
And not spend
any
money. And
any
make
Dirt
shit.
outside,
Yeah,
trash.
you
Sure.
don't need to buy that box set. Like
so
that
so I think what we our main goal here is always to put our ethos out there into the universe and to attract people who share that ethos, whether they realize that is their ethos or they are unaware that this is a way to look at the hobby or just things in general, doing things yourself.
Dude, and that's like,
Yeah, so like I said, none of us are trying to make a living out of this.
nor would I want to.
Yeah. So I don't want there to ever feel like there would be a conflict of interest. If Monument Hobbies sends something to us that sucks, I'll talk shit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But then when you're talking about like punk sensibilities?
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah.
I mean, that's just like ultimately that's just DIY-ness. I mean,
losing money.
to a certain degree, yeah. But it's just DIY-ness. Doing things yourself. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what I gather.
And that's
from
what
that.
we've been like doing this whole time
Yeah.
with this hobby.
Yeah.
1000%.
Nothing that Hive Scum / Under the Dice has ever done has ever turned a profit. Any money that comes in is to offset costs.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
not true.
Or I will say, it goes right back into it.
mean? Yeah, it just goes right back
Yeah.
into it.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, like the charity chiller. The first
Well,
one,
yeah.
we made like a bunch of money,
Okay,
but
so
it
yeah,
all
but that's
just went to
exactly money that goes to charity.
Yeah.
None of us are lining our pockets or
No.
Yeah, making our Lamborghini.
No, we're
payments.
definitely just losing money.
It's
But
funny.
that's
I
fine.
was looking
That's
at-
why we do it.
I was looking at the price sheet for Under the Dice Fest, and I'm like, man, I better sell.
This is scary.
We better book everyone in this thing.
This is real money now.
But the idea of being, and this is where I think about this question, or at least along the lines of this question a lot, the idea of being an artist and still having a source of income that's not based on your art means that your art, whatever that is,
It's free.
It's free. It is free, and you're allowed to experiment with it because you are not relying on income to make
Your
the
art will
ends
never
meet.
suffer because of
Exactly.
the pressure.
And so many artists, I feel, so many artists and so many people that want really badly to be artists or to be
To make a
successful
living as a
and
creative.
make a living as a creative, they are so willing to jump on whatever band wagon is like currently popular and be like, I'm just going to copy this because I know that this will sell, or I'm
Right.
going to try and make this sell, rather than like taking the time to like look inward and look at who you are and figure out strategies that you can use
So those are
to better express
Breaking
yourself.
the mold.
those are. But the thing is, I think a lot of those people, they've made the decision. This is how I'm going to make my living. I will make whatever decision I have to make is going to pay the bills.
Which sometimes
whether
you
that's
have to
quote
do that.
unquote selling out,
But I think
avoiding certain things.
selling out
that
is
sort of
just I think a term of just not. It's like just not being yourself. It's like being
Yeah,
inauthentic is selling out.
Correct,
more.
yeah.
And having another source of income means that
We
this
have that
can
freedom.
stay DIY. It means that we can always talk about making shit with dirt. And it also means that we can ultimately take a lot more chances, take a lot more risks, and have a lot more fucking fun than somebody who is always second guessing their decisions because they're wondering if it's going to impact the amount of money that's coming in. based on
Will I
something.
not be able to eat this month?
Yeah.
because
Will
I
this
said
video
thing?
get enough views that I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the $150 check from
Right.
YouTube to pay my rent? Like, that would be an awful position to be in because it would limit you so much on what you ultimately want to do.
100%.
That mirrors exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
It. It's like you don't have like we have a Patreon, we have all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that, and we don't like necessarily like we appreciate anyone who supports
Totally.
what we do, but we in turn give you something for that.
Yes.
We don't expect it. We don't need it. It's just to help foster this thing that we're doing that we were going to do anyway.
Yeah. So, to answer the question, I know like punk is a bit of a loaded term, but the DIY ethos will never leave. I never want it to leave, and I want it to be something that I carry for the rest of my life. If that means losing money, then that means losing money because
Right,
it's like
right.
the creativity comes first.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's part of like.
No, I mean,
I think about this shit
You're
constantly.
right. You're right. And like the fact that it we didn't even when we purposely read the question ahead of time, I said no one can talk about this. We have to save it for the pod
Yeah.
to get a true response. And it is a true, like, no one is disagreeing with each other right now in any sense.
No.
We've all had this mentality the whole time. It will always be this mentality.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at just the space idea. Like,
Yeah.
we were going to do it anyway, but we don't need a space. Like, we all create out of our houses, and
Yeah.
we all are
Right.
like wherever we do this shit, and it doesn't.
The fact is,
It's not
just-
going to change.
Right.
It's just going to be more. We're just going to do more.
The motivation is to
Exactly.
do more of what we're doing, and then also have an opportunity to share it with
Exactly.
anyone who's here or
You're down. Come to the shop.
come to the
Yes.
shop. Do some weird shit with us. Same thing we're doing Under the Dice Fest for. Same thing we're doing Adepticon meetups. All this other shit. It's just to share more of what we're doing.
It's an amplifier.
Well,
The space
exactly.
will amplify our ideas more.
the Dice Fest.
Uh-oh.
What?
Speaking of Under the Dice Fest, the
got some
flyer's
news?
done,
Yes.
and tickets should be up by the time that this is out.
Probably, because this won't come out for probably 2 weeks. So they'll
So
definitely be
okay.
up.
So by the time that you're hearing this right now,
Yeah.
the flyer's already been posted.
Hopefully, you have purchased your ticket.
Yeah, because there are limited slots. Only 50
Yes.
spots for More Time. 16 for Marvel Crisis, and I don't know what it is for Magic.
And
but
you
there's
know, a
plenty
lot of the
room.
people from last year are just going to hop on there right
Oh,
again.
yeah.
I know.
You
and
stole
just
that many.
just to clarify, if that sounds scary that you might miss out, there will be space for open play.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not
Yes.
participating in the event itself.
maybe not during the actual
Yeah,
event,
maybe not during.
but
Maybe after the event is over, and then on the Sunday, is going to be the Magic the Gathering.
Marvel Crisis
Yeah, Marvel
Protocol.
Crisis Protocol Day. all the space that you want for
Yep.
free tabletop gaming is
Yes,
it's up to
as
you.
well.
You know, no one's gonna fucking force you to play Mordheim either. You can bring your goddamn BattleTech stuff. You
Yep.
can bring your 40K,
Yeah.
We hope you bring your BattleTech
necromancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as there's table space to play with it, and you have an opponent that wants to
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be in January as well. Who knows how many free games are going to come up by then?
Yeah.
We're going to be hyped on them.
I'm running Flames at it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
set up a
exactly.
slot for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to play Flames
Dude,
too.
September 9th, baby.
Yeah. Yes.
Gage's
When this comes
freaking
out,
campaign setting. We're gonna use his idea.
My little hexes.
this will probably come out on September 9th or like around there.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
probably
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
We'll be hanging out with Greg.
Yeah, and we'll probably put this right out, so then people can see we'll probably do the post game on the next pod.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we'll tell people about it. But yeah, ultimately we're just doing this to inspire others, and so I feel like we summed up that question pretty nicely.
Absolutely. I think we did.
It's a hard thing to talk about, though. It's a hard thing to think about,
I try to not think about it.
and it's better if you don't. But it's when people get into the headspace where they are thinking about it and they are being like,
What do I gotta do?
yeah. And I don't know. Creating something in our current day and age for the sheer purpose of it being saleable is like such a step in the
gross.
wrong direction.
Correct.
It's just such an inauthentic direction. I don't
Make
know.
it for you.
Make it for you, 1,000%. If you could sell it after the fact, like, good on you. But like, you should have fun making it. If it becomes like shitty, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
people who are listening or watching or buying or contributing to what you're making are going to know if you're being fucking inauthentic. They're going to say
absolutely.
this shit sucks.
Yeah. I liked the first album better.
Yeah, it was, dude. And so many times that's why demo tapes are better. And
Yep.
people go, "I like the demo." Like, yeah, it's because they were having more fun, and you
The
could
other thing,
feel
too,
the energy.
that I think, not just with music like that, but also like movies, books, anything
Yep.
like that. You have your sort of first thing that you put out. That's something that you've been working on forever, and
Yeah.
then your first release comes out, and then after that, if it's a success, there's pressure to have a follow up
Yes.
within a
Yes.
very short time that doesn't have years, maybe decades to cook.
And
in
to
your
use all
brain.
those same ideas that you just had in the last movie or
Exactly,
show or
yeah.
whatever, and then translate that into a new thing. And you're like, does that become my style, or is it something I'm relying on as a crutch to
Yeah.
make something?
like
rather
you're
than...
some fucking Wes Anderson freak.
Yeah, totally. Or like Christopher Nolan, you make Memento, and it's like, or there was a movie even before that, but it's like people went like, they were so good, and they are so good, and now he just feels as if he has
Superman.
to. Yeah. Well, no,
Oh no.
There was like a black and white one, I think, where it was like a guy following people. Maybe that's not him.
It follows?
No. This is old. It's an old black and white movie, but not black and white on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, not that old, but
Wait, you're talking about Christopher Nolan?
Christopher Nolan.
As
I
a
think.
black and white movie?
I think
Isn't Memento black and white?
Memento's
Or
not,
Requiem
but it
for a
does have
Dream?
black and white moments. Dude, maybe
No,
it's
that's
not.
Aronofsky, I think.
Oh, Christopher Nolan did do a superhero movie, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Batman.
Yeah.
It made me feel like an
He
idiot.
did so many. You said Superman,
You said Superman.
which is I like Christopher Nolan's Batman movies.
They're sick.
They're really good. I think that I have said it so many times that I think DC should just completely lean
Just let him
into
have
the dark aspect.
I don't
of
think
all of
he's
their movies.
interested in.
No, not giving it
Wait,
to
wait.
him.
DC did lean into the dark aspect of their movies, and then after.
Yeah, but they put out that new Batman, and then at the same time they put out like that Flash series that
Yeah.
was really bad.
Make
It's like,
dark
Okay, well,
Flash.
the Flash series got delayed tremendously.
Let me tell you right now, if this superhero conversation goes more than 30 seconds, I'm going to mentally check out. So just putting that out.
I know.
Then I'm
I
gonna
know.
take it back a little bit because did we ever talk about Tenet, the movie, the Christopher Nolan movie?
At one point,
we did
I
talk
know
about-
we've talked about it.
We
in
did
Phil.
just because we were hanging out on the
Sick.
couch,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
both of you guys were thinking of different movies called Tenant. I think you were thinking of Tenant, Tenant, and you were talking Te.
No. I was always thinking that.
Okay, then maybe
Yeah.
you were thinking the
I
other
don't know.
movie, and then you guys were like, "No, that movie sucks," and then like, "No, that movie rocks." And you guys went back and forth just to find out you were both talking about different.
I
fucking
love that
movies.
movie.
Tenet was sick.
I
I
love
heard
that
it's
movie.
pretty good.
a lot of people hated it.
Well, it's not Hans Zimmer doing the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because he was doing Dune already.
Right.
So there you go.
I mean, I'm horny for like time travel-y weirdness, but the concept of that movie, I think, is fucking. There's nothing else like it, at least to my knowledge, to my Western
I've never seen it.
American knowledge.
It's a great
but-
concept.
Yeah.
Like, use that in an RPG. You could do that in so many. It's just so fucking
Right.
sick.
It's very hard to talk about without spoiling the entire
I
movie.
know.
But
If
why
a
the
movie's
fuck are we
over-
talking about this?
I don't know. We were talking about Christopher Nolan.
Oh,
It
Christopher
made me
Nolan,
think
like
of
early
Tenet.
shit. I
Oh,
still
yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
this
yeah.
black and white movie that he did. It's like-
Oppenheimer.
We're
No,
talking about
but-
finding artists finding their creative lane.
yeah,
it's
or
called
are they
following.
trying to emulate
following.
their?
There you go. Thank you.
Are they trying to emulate their first success, or are they actually,
Yeah.
being true to their style?
Yeah, and you know what the other end of this conversation is when people they do that, they're forced to make other movies because being forced to make something is not always a bad thing as long as you're able to keep your head above water. But then they're able to come out on the other end and make serious art that does follow an earlier style.
Because
You
they
know, like,
made money doing it.
because they made money doing it, and then they're able to be like, now
freedom.
I'm in charge.
That's right.
Not the studio anymore. Like you're like
Mr.
Quentin,
James Cameron.
you're like
Captain.
Quentin Tarantino, and you're like, I can make now whatever fucking movie I want to make, and whatever movie I want to
Tarantino
write.
rocks.
Yeah, I mean that's
We watched
well,
Kill Bill at work.
Well,
Hey.
well.
no, he does rock, but it's like that's
Glorious
just kind of-
Bastards?
dude,
Sick.
so good. What? Oh, but Tenet rocks. Hans Zimmer didn't do the soundtrack. Oh, I was thinking of Oppenheimer. Also didn't do the soundtrack.
I didn't see that yet.
I didn't see it either.
But Dune is going to be Hans Zimmer's masterwork, and
Yeah,
I fucking
baby.
cannot wait. I want them
Dude,
all.
we're
I want 'em
talking
all.
movies. Did anybody see the trailer for that new fucking Zack Snyder thing?
No.
No.
So I just saw the trailer just came up as an ad on YouTube, and it visually it was enough that I didn't just skip, the ad. I can't remember what it's called, but it is the most. So it'll probably be shit because I think Zack Snyder kind of sucks. And
What else has he done?
he also wrote it. He did a lot of the DC stuff. He did
Yeah,
like
okay.
Sin City, I think.
He did Sin City.
300.
Sin City was
Oh,
cool.
okay.
That sort of stuff.
Watchmen.
And it's the aesthetic. It's a
All right.
sci-fi movie, and it really looks like he's biting some 40K
Rebel Moon?
style. Yes, yeah. If you watch the trailer for that, it to me just something about it. It has this very like grim, dark,
yeah.
Sexy people kissing.
like
Sexy people
sci-fi.
kissing, sci-fi. That from the 3-second clip I just watched. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
yeah. Check it
Terry,
out.
what are you working on?
Oh, we should do this. Okay, now we're going back.
Good
Good
question.
Madman, help us save
Good
us.
question.
Yeah, I mean, we just started going in it. So I was saying on this that I'm directionless? I have no armies that I'm particularly
Yeah.
painted
No,
for?
dude, that was last episode.
That was the last episode.
No, he did say that.
That was a Patreon
no, dude, that was
episode,
last
maybe.
episode.
No, stop fucking with me, dude. I'm all fucked up time-wise. I'm like in a Christopher Nolan movie right now. I'm real mementoed out.
Real quick.
Oh, God.
Real
no.
quick.
No. I'm going to have to write down this part on my leg so I can remember that we're doing this. What are you talking about?
I think if we have a space, a fucking whiteboard with what we're working on,
Oh, that's a good
will
idea.
be so sick and so good for our brains.
Yes, it will be because once again, I'm probably just painting more. Oh no, I'm working on zombies. I'm back to being.
You're back.
I
You're
have
back,
to
baby.
make 120 painted zombies for my Soulblight Gravelords, and that's a minimum, motherfucker. Like it's gonna go up from there. I want this army to be so undead leaning to the point where it's oppressive. Like to me and to the other player. To me, putting
wanna
them all
play
out on the
against
Wait, what?
table.
Army.
Are you talking about like body count?
Body count,
Yeah.
like as high.
Oppressive as just an, oh, it's your turn to move. I'll be back in a half hour.
You
or-
gotta get
yes.
some movement
Yeah.
trays.
And I do have the movement trays that you got me. I probably I have enough for 120 of them. And I actually dremeled one out because I knew they were a little bit tight.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
But so I've been painting those up.
Yep.
I found like a super easy way to paint them where I'm spraying them blue to begin with.
Yep. Like a is a zenithal or
It's right behind you.
I can't do that. I'm busy.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I'll grab one.
Gage is drawing a penis right
No,
now.
I'm not. That's inappropriate.
The spray came out like it's like old, so it came
Let me
out
see
like
this guy?
chunky and kind of gross. And I was like, well, whatever. I'm
It
just
looks
gonna
so
keep going with
dry.
it. It's so
What
weird.
is that
I like him. He's all bloated too.
This is-
full
this-
of corpse gas.
I think this model is from Zombie Side or something. I found it like in a box somewhere, and I was like, "Perfect zombie, gonna use it."
I love that his abdomen is not really attached to his pants.
Yeah, it's just like a weird, like bad sculpt. But
that doesn't matter. 120 zombies. I don't
doesn't
give a fuck about that
matter.
guy.
That's what I mean. So I spraying them blue. Then I'm literally overbrushing brown on there, like just not even like really caring if it goes into areas where it's not supposed to go because they're fucking zombies. Also not caring if I don't get complete coverage on like the pants or something because it's fucking
won't see
zombie.
it.
Doesn't fucking matter.
You
You
pull
love
him
dry
first.
brushing.
You pull that guy
then
first.
I dry brush. This has already got a layer, a
Terry,
little dry brush.
you dry
on there.
brushed a model the other day. Why don't you tell us about that? That's something you worked on.
So Gage.
We were at Gage's house.
We were at Gage's house, and I was a little bit late, and we were all painting, and I said, Gage, let me show you on like this model over here what dry brushing, just a simple dry brush over the top with just white paint can do to a model. And I started doing it on a Tyrannid. What is it? Little termagant.
Yep.
And
It was a Hormigaunt, but yeah.
Gage goes, wait, does that model have little gold on the underneath? And I said, wait, what? And I flipped it over. I had a little gold on the underneath. And he was like, that was my first model I painted getting back into the hobby. And I was like, oh, fuck. I just fucked up.
And I hammed it up.
It
like
looked really good,
Like
though.
it crushed me. But
It crushes me, dude. I know that feeling of having that first model back.
listen, like I said, it wasn't the first ever Catachan I ever painted. I'm okay. It's all right.
I will feel bad, though,
He's
about
gonna
that
dry brush
forever.
that.
I
next.
forgave you 32 seconds after it happened.
And I know you did because I know that, but like I also understand as a person who like, I like looking back at the old models I painted and being like, wow, look at this thing.
Right.
So to have a bookmark that you're like, this is the first model that you can always compare it to is very cool. And I feel so bad. In any case, that is one thing that I painted this week is Gage's Termagant. But yeah, then those zombies. And then just a oil wash over them that's made up of sap green and brown.
Good
And
colors.
Boom, dude. And
What
then they're
brown?
fucking done. I think it's burnt sienna or whatever the...
Burnt umber?
Burnt umber, there you go. Thank
That's a
you.
good one.
And black mixed together. And yeah, so that, and then I just go after it dries the next day, paint the base rims black, put a little bit of flock on there, paint the eyes, paint the teeth.
Mwah.
It's done. And that's
Perfect.
how I'm going to blow through as many of these fucking things as
How
possible.
many do you have left?
That's a great question.
100.
I probably have
119.
I probably have 40 left. I think I have
damn.
80 painted up.
Now-
give or take.
Now you
Might be a little
you
bit less
blasted
than
through that one like in fucking an hour.
What do you mean, these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been painting 2 of them a night in an hour up to the point where I oil wash them. Then I oil wash them, I let them dry, and then the next day I take about another half hour on each model. Or no, another half hour on both models. So collectively, they like between the 2 days, they each take about a half hour.
Are you trying to increase your time? Are you speed running this or
I could. That's actually not a bad idea. I
time
just
yourself?
Yeah, it's a fun project where they don't need to look really good, and just to see how efficient I can make.
I think it's fucked up that
something
you say they
look
don't
good.
look very good because
Yeah, no,
Well,
they look sick.
it's still at a caliber that I'll never be at. But
No. And it's not that I don't think they look good. I think that they look good enough
Yeah,
for me
yeah,
to
yeah.
feel like these aren't me phoning it in completely.
right.
And but they're quick too. And yeah, so maybe I'll just try and get as quick as possible. Like try and do 4 a night and see if I could get 4
Doing
done in an
runs.
hour. Yeah, it'd be fun.
It just makes me want to redo my Age of Sigmar stuff. I'm gonna prime over.
What do you mean?
everything. I'm gonna repaint my ogres.
What's wrong with your ogres?
I hate painting them. The process sucks. So I'm
What do
gonna
you mean?
do it in a way that's better, and I'm gonna start over.
You could probably do what I'm doing, which is just
I've
like
been there.
when you prime, instead spray them like a skin color Rust-Oleum spray paint, and then that takes care of all the fucking, which is most of the color of your army is just skin tone.
Yeah, I mean, even if I did like a blue and then dry brushed them up, or like a red and then dry brush up. from
Totally.
that.
Yes, and then leave that all in the recesses, and then
Yeah.
just dry brush up from that. That's a great idea too,
It's just painting clothes, like all the stupid pants.
dude.
Oh,
I will
dude,
show you
hate it.
such a easy trick to paint clothes where it's just like that's how I did the guy the other day, where you're painting and you're
It's
leaving
dry brushing.
I figured it
It's
was.
pretty much just dry brushing, except it's over brushing, so it's a little bit more paint on there. But
It's great for ogres because they're big.
yeah, and all of the recesses you're not even touching it, so you're not painting the whole pants. You're leaving all of the right near the edge where it's just going to get covered up with wash anyways. You're leaving that the same color as like whatever the color is before, so you're not worried about hitting those edges.
I wish I had my ogre so we could just do this.
It's like when you color around an area that you're coloring in with crayons, so that way you can color the inside really quick.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same thing, except you don't have to do that outline. The outline, you're just leaving the same color. So it's like you're speed coloring with crayon the inside of a shape without getting the edges.
without going to the edge.
I'm
Yeah.
going home and I'm priming
So
all my
I'm
guys.
the opposite. One of the reasons that I am as slow of
I
a
know.
painter as I am is I am a psycho
know.
about coloring inside the lines. I paint
You're
big.
a true Citadel like painter guy.
I don't know about that,
Like
but
the old
No, I
style.
do.
well, the
You
other thing
get
too is that
close.
even big models I always paint with small brushes.
And I think there's
I
nothing
can't-
wrong with that.
yeah.
I think it's kind of cool, and that's how
also
the
come out
Golden Demon
great.
guys. Yeah, exactly. That's how the Golden Demon guys get such good results. Is they go so slow, so small, and they take their time.
What is it, your Chimera? The freaking with the leopard stripes?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
And
Thank you.
it's so
Thanks.
striking.
I'm
on
pretty
the table.
pretty
Would
proud of
you-
that guy.
would
I
you
gotta
put-
base that.
Would you put a model on Golden Demon?
No.
Dude,
I think you should.
I think
just
you
I'm not
should.
a-
yes.
I mean, sure.
If
why not?
any of us can
I'll,
do it,
I'll,
you can.
I'll put one in there just to do it. But
Yeah.
I am not a competitive person.
Right. Would you want to hear a judge's criticism back?
Or would that hurt you?
Chris
No,
Acrylic will
well,
do
because
it
thing
for
is,
you.
yeah. Well, thing is
Yeah,
too
I
is
love
like
Chris.
I'm usually aware of the problems with
Yeah.
my any artistic output. It's more of just like I am an impatient, impulsive person, and it's like it gets to a point where like, all right, I've spent this many hours on this. I'm not going to do anything
Right,
else
right.
to make it better. I don't care about amending these issues with it.
Yeah.
Which I think.
But yeah,
is-
I don't care.
is
I'll listen
fair.
to
We should all put
to
something
Chris's
I think
criticism.
He's so good.
Also, shout out Chris. What was the game that he just did the display art
Shadows
for?
of Brimstone. Shadows
Shadow-
over Brimstone.
Shadows of
and that
Brimstone.
shit
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so good.
I know that's his game. He's the best.
He rocks. Can't wait to hang with
Dude,
him.
we were talking about like there's a class at Adepticon that's like painting in Caravaggio's style. I forget the exact like,
Yeah.
name of
mean?
the. Well, it's just like he does like high darks and highlights, so it's really like it's OSL.
Extreme high
yeah,
contrast.
that's
It's just
literally how he
OSL.
paints.
And then he's doing that like sunlight thing, and he was like, "Oh, I actually call this. I want to say it was like temperism or something like that. Fuck, man, I wish I could remember the exact word.
Tenebrism?
Tenerism or something.
I don't know.
Shoot, I'm probably saying it totally wrong.
Tenerism.
He's like, "Oh, I've always called this, but I guess it's technically kind of the same thing." And then he sent me that. I don't even know if he would like me talking about this out here, but he sent me a picture of like,
Tenebrism. You're actually correct. Style of painting associated with Caravaggio and his followers, in which the figures are engulfed in shadow, but some are dramatically illuminated by a beam of light from an identifiable source.
So he was doing that with just like that sword, and it was like the most beautiful thing. I was like showing Sarah, being like, "This is so cool, isn't it? Like you understand how interesting
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is."
You showed me something like that. I can't remember what it was.
The Mordheim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it for my whole warband, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do that. but,
But
it's cool. It looks
it
not like
is.
hard to do, like a
No.
cool.
A quick version of
Yes.
it is attainable. Like to get to the level that Chris Acrylic is, you can
Different
tell
world.
it's like so much more work. But to get like kind of a bootleg version of it, I don't think it's. I think you could do it
Monsters in the
Tenebrism
moonlight.
at home.
with dry brushing.
Yes.
We have Tenebrism at home.
Yeah.
The Tenebrism at home.
It's just a dry brush.
It's a makeup brush.
Yeah. No, I think you could totally do it.
Phil,
I have to pee really quick
What's
while
up?
Phil talks. Go ahead, Phil.
what have you been working on? You were at my house the other day.
Yeah. I laid down a little bit of paint on the Zangor stuff that I built before the last episode, however long ago that
The
was.
discus.
The discus,
the
yeah, the
discus.
discs of Zinch, yeah. Going with the I like those sort of like pastel ghostly colors, not for the Zangors themselves, but the discs, which I'm painting before I do the actual the writers
guy.
properly, yeah.
You use the texture paint, the texture paste. On
Oh
the,
yeah.
on the base.
I did a little bit of texture paint on one of the bases.
Did that change your outlook on it? Because I know
little
you
bit.
kept asking, and I'm like, dude, I can't really give you any advice because the base is so white. That's all I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You do that. You do your bases like last. Last. I actually don't know if any of your bases are done on your Beastmen.
Zero. I famously have never based a model.
Drivers are nuts.
So yeah, well, in just doing that, I'm like, all right, well, this has like a couple layers of paint on already. So trying to like get the mud on the base.
Yeah.
I'm sure you kept hearing me go fuck while I was doing it, as I was just like getting bits
giving
of
you dental
getting
tools.
bits of mud on like the already like
Yeah.
pastel colored.
But that's cool because then it looks like he's walking through mud.
Okay, but it's literally like a flame effect that has flecks of mud
Oh,
on it. It's
yeah,
not
that's
like a solid, tangible thing.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So lesson learned. I guess I gotta start basing before I start painting.
I always base before I start.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's the thing that you're supposed to do.
I don't know.
I see people doing it the other way around purposely for that reason.
I'll base it, but I don't paint the base until last. But that's because I do all these desert bases that I'm like, I'll just
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
all over the model and it looks cool.
Yeah, people based in like the so many different ways. People like will glue right on top of the base. I like putting the model onto the base and then basing over the top of it so it looks like the feet are like in the mud.
That's
or
literally in my
whatever.
tutorial for my base. I say that.
Because I think it's helpful to just like ground it.
Yeah,
no
it's very
pun
immersive.
intended.
But what if you want to paint the toenails?
Well,
I don't.
get those little.
Sometimes I don't even paint the boots. I just do whatever the ground color is and just mash it in. And then I'm like, well, don't have to paint the feet.
Those piggies are done.
Yeah. Yeah, you should see these fucking zombies. Some of them just don't have feet. Oh, they're out in the
They're
garage.
stuck in the mud.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like slogging through. But then there's people like, you ever see those Andromeda studios? Oh, no, not Andromeda.
Don't tell me they glue the feet on top of the sand.
No, he just does like really cool basing tutorials, and the videos are all like really interestingly put together. I don't know if it's Andromeda.
I think you just made that up for attention.
Yeah, I think
No.
you're lying.
No, it's okay. You guys can fact check me later.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
You guys can back off.
You guys can fuck off.
Well, you guys are not my friends anymore. Gage, what you been working on?
What have I been working on? You came over and helped me
And ruined your fucking pyramids. Like a
helped me
jerk.
realize how much I hated you. No, the I had like a color palette in mind for the Gene Circle. I got to come up with a cool name for him, like my own faction.
Oh,
name
dude,
for
like
it.
Wisteria, like Pastor Levesque does.
Yeah, it's not going to be that cool because he rocks. But the
It could be that cool.
it could be the color palette I had though. I really wanted like I said last episode, like a really dark gray, and then like their faces are just super white, just like real alien vibes. But we were messing around with some like periwinkle.
Dry brushing.
Yeah, we were messing around with dry brushing.
Which is when I got too silly.
The some periwinkle color from GW. I can't remember what it was. Some like
It was like
lilac
iron rack
something.
skin or something. I don't know. Fucking some. Yeah.
Some purpley something.
Screamer pink.
Yeah. I know,
Definitely
it was
not
like
that, but
real.
Screamer pink is very.
Oh, it's
like,
great, but it was
yeah.
really light. Whatever color we were using was
Yeah.
it was like a light color.
light color, yeah. And then the dry brushing talk happened afterwards.
Yeah.
But,
After we washed over the top.
so we
with
pretty
different
much solidified that. So I finished up I still have a wash on to do a wash on him, but the Primus is pretty
Is that
much
the guy
done.
that we did? And I did a little dry brush.
Great
a
band.
little dry brush. I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
the
No, they're fine. I think Primus is fine. We don't have to go into Primus right now, but
the real talk, I always used to get Muse and Primus confused, and I went, yeah, fuck both of them.
I used
But
to get Tool and Primus confused.
I love that people only know that one song from Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Which song? Is
I didn't know they
Antonio?
came out with more music than that.
Yeah,
They
me
did.
neither. Anyways,
The
skin tones.
the skin tones themselves, and I mean the whole paint scheme is kind of just like figured out now. So hopefully after this, I'm gonna blast through some neophytes, and that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing.
Hell yeah.
And I think that like the direction that you have is like I feel like you need to post pictures of this because they are going to be so striking at the end with their dark armor, like great skin tone.
I also agree with that because then I'll have that motivation of people being like, I want to see more, and then I'll be
Yeah.
like, well, now I'm under the gun, and that's what I need.
and they're not completely like they're not too hard because
No.
the majority of the color is that black armor.
I'm definitely baby mode when it comes to painting, so I'm totally okay with having a very easy scheme, and that's kind of why
Yeah.
I was like, can the boys come over and help me? Besides that, though, I've been printing a shit ton of the Hive Scum miniatures from Knucklebones.
Oh,
so
dude. The me head would be a great Gene Stealer Colt head because
Oh, yeah.
it's funny
and
because
Phil doesn't have hair.
multiple
on his guy.
people have said that. They're
Yeah.
like, how many Terrys are you going to sneak into your GSC?
You have to.
I do feel it's important for the listeners to know that I do have thick, luscious hair. I choose to shave it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's very obvious. Like looking at you right now, there's not even a tinge of baldness going on up there.
Correct.
In
The
fact,
bolts that are in your head that Knucklebone sculpted very
Yeah.
well. Yeah, those look nice today, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
in fact, you have no receding hairline either. Which
I have a very low hairline.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very impressive because I feel like it
rocks.
just kind of goes back.
I don't.
Your
I
hair
like
looks
it.
great.
It makes it when it grows out. It looks weird. That's why I shave
Listen,
it. It's thick. It looks weird when it grows out, and it's very thick, so I can't style it easily.
So it's
I,
like an afro kind of.
It's a little bit froey. I have multiple cowlicks though. Like depending on how long my hair gets, it will like the comb, like the natural comb over will change from one side of the head to the other.
Same. And
There's just, like,
you just
no-
got to force it. You got to.
Yeah.
Right
Well, I
to it.
like when I had long hair. I liked having long hair. But It was just too hot, too much maintenance. I
Yeah,
hated
yeah.
blow drying
You're
every day.
telling me, brother.
Yeah,
I
you're
miss
telling
having
me,
long
brother.
hair.
Yeah.
Good era.
Shout out Harry, England Harry.
Long hair.
Speaking of hair,
Another long hair. He messaged me, and I was actually going to message Mangling Minis with the same thing, but I was like, dude, if you just sculpt little overalls on your guy, it's a hairy mini. You're good to go. And he was like, yeah, it would look like shit though, and we'd have a shitty Gage figure at home. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Steve,
Steve. Tell us, Steven.
Steve,
I've been-
What have you been working on?
I painted at your house those Chaos Warriors. And
You
I hate
painted a
them.
cake at my house,
I did make
and
a
then you
cake.
forcibly fed Terry and I a fucking gallon of frosting.
I brought the frosting down, and you ate
You
it.
brought the frosting down and a bucket of cookies.
There were like 4 cookies,
And
in
you were
that
like,
bucket.
A bucket.
sliding them into our faces and said, "All right, here you go."
I ate one
Take this all.
of the 4 cookies. I ate.
There
one.
were definitely more than 4.
No, there were not.
I
'cause
got those
ate one
cookies
upstairs.
from my grandmother hours prior to
I
that.
promise you, there was not more than 4 when I brought them
Were
down.
they vegan? Does your grandmother bake vegan for you?
She does.
Wow.
That's really nice.
Yeah, she goes, "I made your cookies."
Your
It's always like that. Like,
yours.
yeah,
she
these
won't
are,
say the word.
yeah, like these are cookies for you. I'm like, okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Grandma.
I'll fix the clock on your fridge now.
So you've been plugging along with
Is-
chaos.
Yeah, your chaos rank and flank.
Yeah, when you said what you said at Gage's house, I got so upset.
What did I say? You say things that upset me all the time.
Like what?
All right, boys.
we discuss it off mic.
Welcome
What-
to the
what did I
therapy
say?
hour of Hive Scum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was painting the weapons blue to match the god that they have.
Yeah.
on
Oh
their
yeah,
floor.
yeah.
I think
And you're
it's
like,
cool.
I thought you were doing red weapons, and I said, no, well, they have to match the god. He goes, you don't have to do that, and I was like, damn, he's right. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
And
but I still think
they
it's
looked
cool.
way cooler with red.
Phil doesn't even remember saying this.
No, I remember saying it. I don't understand how that's
It
upsetting.
it upset me not because you said it, but because it gave me the realization of, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't have to change it to blue. They
Yeah.
did look cooler when they were red.
Well,
Well, yeah. Terry's about to say what I'm about to say.
they did look cool as red. However, I just think the blue ones aren't done yet. I think like
They are done. They're
but
done.
Throw a blue wash on it, or dry
I
brush
did.
over the top of it. Do it again.
Since we saw it,
Yeah.
Dry brush it almost until it's like white, where it's like looks like an ice blue.
like what you would put on a Tyranid Hormigaunt.
Good.
That's what
idea.
you need to do.
Yeah. So I've been building up my points for my big game with Evan and whoever else shows up. Tyler is building his castle. I told him he had to.
Let's go.
yeah, he made a little Instagram
Yeah.
story that was like, "Hear about my castle." I love Tyler, dude. What a fucking guy.
Tyler, if you want help, I'll help you paint it.
Yeah, no, we definitely that'll
be
be like
sick.
a big studio project if we get this.
Oh,
You
dude.
should bring it to the fucking studio.
Felt table.
Mall.
Besides that, I've been working on the brothers. Just do it, like adding guys that I've had sitting around. Just like, oh, you're gonna join.
Yeah.
Oh, you're joining.
You're conscripted. You're conscripted.
For the same reason that like your Gene Steel cults will be like a lot of fun to paint. Brothers are just so much fun to paint because
Yeah.
it's just black,
Yep.
and then you
And then a stark
Dry brush.
contrast of white flesh or
Yeah,
like shields
go.
or something. Yeah, I got to go back and touch all those guys up with little colors, but
they're cool. And are you going to run them as Death Wash? You thinking like
that's
for
what
the
I'm
game,
running
like
them
the
for
rules?
today.
Yeah,
that was the one that because I looked through all the armies and I was like, they don't really fit in any of these.
dude.
I'll just do Death Watch because that's like a mix match of all different stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
Apparently,
oh,
Death Watch are top of the meta right now too.
Oh, fucking
Maybe,
course. No,
maybe,
of course.
maybe that's why Steve.
If you think
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm pretty sure it's GSE actually.
you know what's cool?
Yeah, no, GSCR, but Death Watch are up there too.
Phil is my arch nemesis when it comes to Warhammer.
Absolutely.
Oh
That
yeah,
is true.
We've
Always
said
has
it multiple times.
Yeah, you guys are very yin and yang when it comes to fucking.
Yeah.
It's cool though. It's nice to see. It's nice to see from the sidelines.
Terry and I are making our models kiss, just
Yeah, yeah.
having a fun old role playing experience. You guys are.
You guys are practically choking each other out in the local game store.
Need some rivalry sometimes though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I think is cool talking about like playing them as like whatever, playing them as a different faction is
I was
Christoph.
gonna play him as Leagues of Votan. I looked at that.
See, now that's what I mean. It's
I
like,
love the little dwarves.
dude, they're
I
very
think they're
cool.
cool.
Model wise, they're very sick, and the units are really interesting too. I think you could do like a lot of cool shit with Leagues of Votan. But Christoph Keel in that book and his like Dave Taylor book,
The art of painting.
yeah, The Art
Yeah.
of Painting. I think he's like number 2 or 3 or whatever. But his whole Black Phalanx project, which is just like human models, they're all based on Necron rules.
That rocks.
It's fucking sick because then he'll make models and he'll be like, oh, like not even realizing that like how well it fits certain units, and then he'll just kind of slot it in with certain Necron units, and it's got to be so much fun to play against.
Oh yeah, people do that. I've definitely seen lots of people love doing that with orcs. Just like playing a faction, but just like kit bashing and converting orcs to, like be like a 1-for-1 for that army.
For what? Like, what do you mean? Like,
just other like say someone is playing
Imperial Guard is the main one.
Imperial Guard, but using orcs, driving the Imperial Guard vehicles and stuff like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Or another example I've seen. I actually feel like I was gonna say I saw online, but I actually think it might be someone from Battle Standard in AOS. They play the Caradron, the skyship dwarves, but they use all Skavens. So they made like a Skaven skyship.
That's very cool.
And they have Skaven
I think
shooters.
that is someone at TBS.
Yeah.
I want to paint a Skaven army so bad, but it's like
Do it. Doom and Apathy's doing it.
Because
right now. Adam.
because it'll just be another thing where you have to have 100 million of each.
No, you play the siege weapons and stuff.
But I only ever
true.
end up wanting horde armies. All of the armies that I love,
look the
yeah.
coolest.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. But it's
You want to be a
always
grand.
do.
Men only want one thing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a table
to
filled with
command
models.
lots of other men.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
To
It's
tell
true.
lots of other men what to do.
It's like Skaven, orcs. I'm like Imperial Guard curious. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? I'm IG curious. The fucking zombies and AOS. I'm like, no, I won't take the dragons and just run like an Avangori beast list with just 3 models. I want
three zombie dragons.
160 zombies.
Hey,
Yeah.
that list used to be meta.
Dude,
It sounds like it is again.
It's about
Yeah.
to be again.
I mean, dude, they're so fucking strong. It's sick. I've only played that one game against Phil, and he took it easy on me because he's a nice guy. But
Well, I didn't take it easy. I wrote a very dumbed down list, but I did not in my
no
tactics and everything.
I think the coolest
I
thing
did not hold back.
about that, what is it, Cordal you were talking about? That did the Necrons thing?
Oh no, but his name might be but it's Christoph Kiel is
That's his name.
his real name.
yeah.
I
It's
Yeah,
do,
he has
Stillman.
one of the Dave Taylor books
Yeah.
or his
I think it
name
is Cordal.
It's something like that.
right here. Took me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
it?
Cornell.
Okay, you can see why I got those
Yes,
confused.
absolutely.
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm a freak with letters. Real aside, who was it? Someone was. Oh, well, I mean, I guess he was drunk. Josh was trying to spell Aiden's last name last night, and I did it
Oh, you did it.
first try very fast because I've seen.
M-A-S-T-R-O.
You don't need to spell your friend's last name
all right, I'm not
on
gonna-
the
I was
podcast,
doxing.
but I've seen it written down once, and it's immediately I know how to spell it. It's not.
When did
When did letters get invented?
I was gonna say?
So the letters you're talking about are that's the Latin alphabet,
But like
the ABC.
So we're talking about like cuneiforms must have been the first,
It's definitely one of the earliest writing systems. Yeah, cuneiform.
and that was just what on clay. They would just
Yeah,
punch
they
it in
use
clay.
like clay or wedges to like
press little like
press
lines. and stuff
different
into
types
it.
of like lines and shapes.
In this
into the-
narrow sense of the word, the first true alphabet was the Greek alphabet, which was based on an earlier Phoenician abjad.
Yeah, so that an alphabet. I think alphabet implies that each numeral or each pictogram represents just a sound that your mouth makes, whereas cuneiform and hieroglyphics, that's a word or a concept that, depending on other hieroglyphics that it's next to, changes the context or maybe the meaning of it.
Right.
So it's more like reading pictures. It's like reading a comic.
And honestly,
book more.
I could absolutely be pulling that out of my ass. That is not the fill fact for this episode.
Speaking of,
yeah.
what is the fill fact of this episode?
Do you want to just
I don't-
say it
Well, I mean,
unnaturally?
He has to. We have a
all
fill
right,
fact
so-
section
all right,
because
so-
you got called out.
Yeah, I got
putting-
called out because there was not a good
I like that.
fill fact last week. So this week
You gave them 2. They had 2 fill facts last
no.
week.
Last week those weren't things that those are things that I Googled while we were questions that we had while we were recording that I just
yeah,
Googled
the
the
dog
answers
one.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
dog.
Well, the whole
Can
point-
dogs count?
The whole point about fill facts is sometimes they're not right.
That's the point.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
that's
like
why
misremembered.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
like you pulling things out, being like, I'm pretty sure this is correct, but like maybe it's not.
probably
Most of the
wrong.
time it is though.
It's close enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a fucking authority.
Oh, you've been dealing with all the shrews. You were saying you're in
Yeah.
shrew
No,
heaven.
so No, I'm not in shrew heaven. I'm in shrew
Well,
hell.
that
No, not
shrew-
even.
Yeah, I was gonna
no,
say
no, no.
that
So
shrew is a true
as the people know, my current gig in the year 2023 is pest control. So I deal with a lot of mice. I recently ran across a strange looking thing. I'm like, that's not a fucking mouse. I think that's a shrew. I had never seen a shrew in person.
I don't know
before.
if I have either.
Yeah, and it superficially looks so much like a mouse, but it is not even a rodent, which I knew that.
That's crazy.
I already knew
though.
that. Yeah, well, think of all mammals that like kind of started as superficially rodent-like. They're all tiny because mammals have been around since before the dinosaurs, but not until after, the dinosaurs went extinct. They were literally all just tiny little fuzzy things underfoot. Mammals have been around for a very, very, very
That
long
makes
time.
sense.
Yeah.
And then they just evolved from little things into bigger things.
Yep. And then, so the dinosaurs sort of like they filled all the different ecological niches. And then as soon as they all died out, mammals were able to fill all those different ecological, niches.
Now, this is getting kind of crazy, but they don't know how the dinosaurs died, right? That's still a question that they're trying to solve.
There's always lots of different,
I feel
factors.
2023 we should know by now,
Well, there's a lot of extinction events through history. Every few tens of millions of years, something will happen in the environment that sort of just like kicks off generally some sort of like climate change or huge ecological, something changes very fast.
It would
Something
have to be
gets
like
wiped out, so then the food chain gets destroyed.
Oh yeah. So things like meteor impacts have not just for dinosaurs but multiple extinction events have been the result of posited that they're the result of like meteor impacts, that sort of stuff, because there are a lot of just like craters that they can geologists can kind of date them, tell where they hit, but none of this has anything to do with shrews.
Yeah, sorry.
So anyways, I've gone shrew crazy this week. I wanted to know more about them, and so the things that I've learned about shrews is that they are, they're very rarely seen. Even you don't even really see mice a lot, unless it's just like in the corner of your eye running around in your disgusting apartment. But shrews you never see. However, they are one of the most abundant animals on the planet. In North America, there's tens of billions of the population.
That's crazy.
And again,
that is
not
just a fake number at a certain point.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
just
so-
so many.
but some of the facts about shrews.
They are the cutest.
They
animal.
they generally consume their own body weight in food each day. Their metabolism is insane. It must so it is a insectivore, which that is the general group that they are from. It's not rodents. It's referred to as insectivores, which there's plenty of. It just means they eat insects. That's just the name of the taxonomical group. But that doesn't mean that everything that eats insects is an insectivore. So the group, the scientific name is like Elliptipola or something like that. Hold on, I pulled it up. It is.
You preloaded this?
Yeah. No. The word itself, it's Elliptipola, and it's it's like shrews, moles, hedgehogs, some more obscure things that I'm not going to punish.
Dude, their
everyone with.
noses are really cute.
Yeah, they have those long. The noses, it moves around. It's kind of not prehensile, but it's there's not a bone that goes the whole length of its nose. It has
A
almost like
wiggly
a
nose.
little wiggly little trunky thing.
That's cute.
But
That's fucking cute,
they
dude.
because they need to capture prey and eat some sort of little bug. They eat bugs. They eat little like snails, slugs, stuff like that. They need to capture and kill something every 15 to 30 minutes or they will fucking die. So they
Insane.
sleep for like a couple minutes at a time, wake up and just carry on.
They don't. Are they like moles where they don't see very well?
I imagine that they don't. Their little eyes are so fucked up and tiny. They literally look. Their eyes look like pinpricks. But
Yeah.
Fucking pinprick.
Dude, and it's like funny.
and some of them they're so tiny too that the hairs on the palms of their little feet,
Yeah.
they can get bubbles trapped in them and they can walk across water.
No shit.
So cool.
They can scuttle across water.
What the fuck?
Religious
and
figures.
Yeah.
not just shrews, but there's a few different things in that insectivore group are some of the only venomous mammals. Shrews have a little bit of it would not, I don't. It's venom that's meant to kill fucking bugs, so it
Right,
probably
right.
wouldn't do anything to you. And I don't think that a shrew would bite you if you even. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what shrew. I've only ever seen dead ones, so I can only assume that shrews don't really bite people.
Venomous mammals. What are the other venomous mammals?
So,
Mongooses.
no, mongooses. So mongoose is kind of a category. Meerkats are like a type of mongoose. There's different.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Well,
didn't
they
know that.
famously they eat cobras, other poisonous snakes.
Yeah.
They are resistant to venom. They're very good at dodging the bites. They
nice.
can be killed by the venomous bite, but they also can survive it without this little tiny fucking weasel thing can survive a venomous bite without
Yeah, that's
any
fucking
antidote.
sick.
So yeah, that's what I got on shrews.
That's beautiful.
There's your fucking shrew facts, you pieces of shit.
Wow. Shrew facts live.
Shrew facts with your boy.
Dude, speaking of snakes, I listened to this podcast one time about this guy who was like, he would go to like reptile shows, like conventions.
I've been
where
to a
they
reptile show before.
But he would get snakes on his way to the convention.
Like he'd just stop in the
Stop,
woods
pick
and,
'em up.
and grab
he
some.
would just hunt snakes and
some
like
black
reach in
racers or some
holes and
shit.
pull them out and like blah blah blah. And one
These
time
are for sale.
he got bit by like some fucked up snake, and then he like went to the emergency room and
Oh, see, dude, here now here's where we're getting our organic fill facts.
oh, see, I knew I
So-
would pull it out somehow.
When you get bit, if you get bit by a venomous snake and you need to go to the hospital, hospitals do not carry anti-venom.
That's not
Yeah.
true.
They have to they have to contact zoos to get it from a zoo.
Well, because each snake has different
That's-
anti-venom.
So,
right?
Steve fact.
Oh
Oh shit! You
It's
got
about-
some
I got
anti-venom?
something. I got
Ding,
something.
Rotten.com shit.
So, like Bay State, like maybe you might be right. Like where certain category hospitals only carry the venoms.
Okay, so we'll say native snakes, but there's like people fucking keep cobras and shit like that as pets.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Because like I know Bay State specifically
Yeah.
has to keep like X types of
Yeah.
venom.
So
on
here,
stock.
here in New England, we have copperheads, we have timber rattlers, that sort of stuff.
But if they
we're not
don't keep
fucking
it-
Australia, but yeah,
they get fined. Like in Bay State got hit because they didn't have the venoms that they were supposed to. Like they were all expired.
Anti-venoms,
They never-
really?
They never
Oh, shit.
re-upped
yeah,
on them.
and they're crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Anti venom. Yeah.
Isn't Bay State also like a I don't know the grading of hospitals.
D grade.
It's the big one. It's like the big one
the
for the
high one.
side.
Because I know I've been in their clean room. It's a
Yeah.
BSL-3, but the hospital itself, I think, is like
Because they're like a whatever trauma center. Like they're like the major trauma center for
Yeah,
our area.
yeah.
Like
so. Yeah, I can't imagine them not carrying anti-venom as that no shit they should be fined.
Yeah.
But you know what? Harvesting reptiles from the wild to sell, not cool, man.
No.
Not cool.
the whole thing with
It's actually
him-
one of the biggest things that contributes to declining populations of reptiles and amphibians, as I'm sure our friend Gregory Wire would attest, is
Yeah.
for the exotic pet trade.
yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to just harvest things than to get them to breed in captivity.
And that's what he would just do. This fucking freak would just go like I don't know, like side of the road to side of the road, just trying to hunt down little snakes, grabbing them. But this is where I was getting is, I guess a majority of snake bites are actually dry bites. Like they don't let their venom go.
Yeah.
And it's like you're
it's
taking
like a scare tactic.
yeah. But he went to the emergency room, and the emergency room was like, "Oh, it's going to be like 2 hours or whatever till we can see you." And he's like, "Oh, I'll just take my chances at a dry bite," and he just left. And he lived.
That is a got to be an American only thing.
Oh, I mean this. I'm sure snake trade happens in a lot of places, but this guy is certainly an American.
yeah. No, I just
this
mean the
dumbass
fact that like
is certainly an American.
Oh, it's
He
gonna
was
take-
referring to the hospital.
yeah, it's gonna take hours. For
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
Oh, that's also yeah.
I remember one of our friends was very sick, and we were trying to play Magic, and he's like, "No, I think I'm gonna go to the emergency room." He's texting, he's waiting, and then you were on call, you were working, and you were like, "Why don't you just go to this other hospital? It'll be faster." He ended up going there. It wasn't. He had to wait like X amount of hours there. He finally got seen after like what 21 hours I think in multiple hospitals.
Sometimes that's just how it be.
Jesus.
Dude, listen, man.
I never want to go
That's
there.
got to be jarring. For
Labor
some people to
shortages
hear.
in this country hit every fucking sector,
Yeah.
man.
I just
Well, and the amount of bullshit that the hospital deal. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I know I deal with a lot of stupid shit. Like, I
Yeah.
deal with a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah. As
But
like the
I
EMC
drop
side
that
of it.
stuff off at the hospital, and then I don't think about it again.
Yeah.
They have to deal with it for like a minimum amount of time. Like if a patient goes to a bed, they are stuck there for X amount of hours, like until they can. Oh yeah, you're good. See ya.
Yeah, that's funny. That's kind of similar to something I do with my job that is always really fun to me. It's like, yeah, you have all these pest issues in your house because you have this giant hole in your foundation. Bye.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. The hospital actually has a new thing where, well, the main hospital at Bay State, like where they triage you. Like you go if you walk in off the street to go to the hospital. Now it does not matter what you went in for. It's you're at the front of the line because you got here first, whereas before it was kind of like based on what was going on. It's like, okay, you're getting seen. Okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And like they just churn you
Yeah.
out now because of that,
I mean,
which is how it should be.
they should. Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
be able to do that before even bringing them to the hospital, but that's not for me to say.
Yeah. Going back to pest control, I've heard that people don't take care of their like you can give them a solution where it's like, hey, fill this hole in your foundation and
Correct.
this will stop coming, and they just go and they just don't do
I'm
it.
not
They
doing
just shake
that.
their head and like, oh
Absolutely.
no, I'm not going to do
It's
it.
cheaper.
No, they want you to just come fucking
Kill
dump
everything.
poison on their property.
It's cheaper to call Phil than it is to fill your
The
foundation.
thing is too is that
Nice.
one of the core
Phil,
concepts
It's
in the field
not
of
why I said that.
I like it.
wait, what?
He said, fill your foundation.
Oh, okay. So one of the core concepts in pest control is the idea of integrated pest management, which is everything you can possibly do before resorting to chemicals.
Which is good.
Before resorting to violence.
But so
Yes.
much of that relies on
Choose
the
a
homeowner.
the homeowner, the
Yeah,
customer
yeah.
to like. So one of the biggest things that you do when you go to any job is you essentially do an audit of their property. You
Right.
inspect. You say, "Hey, this is why you're having this problem. This is why you're having this problem. If you don't want to deal with it, you should do this." I'm gonna,
telling me about that lady the other day with she had flies in her kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was just
Flies. It's like maggots in my trash and flies in my kitchen.
and you were just like, it's because you have rotting food everywhere.
And it's 85 degrees.
Yeah,
in
it's
your kitchen.
85 degrees. You don't have any air moving, and this is also a fucking gigantic, beautiful house too. So it's not just us fucking working class slobs living like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, rich people are gross too.
But I had flying squirrels in my attic and booted them
crazy.
out. Yeah, have you seen one of those fucking things? They're pretty cute.
cute.
They are cute. And I actually ended up, fucking getting one with a goddamn snap trap. But I got
poor
the other
guy.
one. I kicked the other one out, and he literally flew
Yeah, they're
away
very,
out of my attic.
very seldomly seen southern flying squirrels. I've absolutely never seen one of these.
And then I put up not steel, metal mesh on the gable windows
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever
what you
you
gotta do.
fucking call them. And dude, it took me 5 minutes, and I texted Drew and I was like, "Oh, I think I took care of my mouse problem and my fucking squirrel problem." He's like, "You've done 95% more than."
Anyone
or you've
else.
done more than
Yeah,
95% of people do when I give them any sort
Yeah.
of solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
guys
just,
should just-
want you to fucking walk into their house with a 9mm and shoot
Yeah.
a mouse in the head.
Yeah, I'm surprised your company doesn't offer like
9mm.
9mm support. Like just a roll of mesh screen for
That's
like
literally
that simple shit.
what a lot of what. Yeah, that's a lot of what you do. Is you just I have
you
I have
do that.
big boxes of steel wool that I'll just like. Well, I can just cram some steel wool into this opening. It's a temporary solution. You should do something about it.
And then the mice
like,
We
wow,
don't. And then the
thank you
next
so
time
much.
you come to your house, you see the steel wool has fallen out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, I'll just get a pack it again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Pest control.
Pest control. Good.
Pest control. Good.
Nah, dude, honestly, and it's funny too because everyone I work with is just like, I don't want to throw down chemicals. Like, I feel bad for these animals.
Oh,
Dude, that's the worst
totally.
thing too. Just like spraying pesticides, and I'm just literally just like watching toads just like jump
Yes.
around in the yard. I'm like, this can't be good for them.
No. It is not like I am because it's like they're not doing anything wrong.
No.
I don't know. It's a lot of pest talk and Gage.
Yeah, this is a lot of non-hobby talk in this
Gage
episode.
wrote questions on a piece of paper and said, and
I do
and
got
with a
something.
question mark.
Who's gonna say it?
I just want to give.
Whoa! Who's gonna say it?
Wait, is this about?
I said it
questions,
last
though?
time. No,
Yeah, you did. Then say it.
You guys say it.
No, but he's saying something else that's not question.
I just wanted to give Uncle Adam a shout out because
Oh,
he
hell
sent
yeah.
us those
Yeah,
books
yeah.
forever ago.
Oh, dude,
Correct.
yeah, and we never shouted him out, and that would be great.
Correct.
Yeah, he sent
Actually,
us Space Station Zero and Rain in Hell, and
Yeah,
I mean we haven't played them yet, but I want.
I
to
bought
play
Rain
them.
We haven't
Hell.
had time to play.
I spent
I know
cold
those
hard
things.
cash on.
I also bought Rain in Hell.
Rain in Hell looks cool.
I dropped into his painting stream the other day,
oh,
and I was like, "Hey man, what you working on?" And he was like, "Wait, no clear coat from Hive Scum." And that's probably the first time I was like,
that's so sweet.
So shout out Uncle Adam.
He's
Honestly.
amazing. What a good dude. Yeah, I mean, Rain in Hell looks really, really cool. I have never played it either, but the idea of making like 12 fucking demons as part of your like cohort and coming up with a story about like how this thing works together and having like a sick leader guy, I think it would be. It's a lot like Forbidden Psalm, except with slightly more models, double the guys. But I feel it would be fun.
The Grimdark Hallway this year absolutely has to incorporate Uncle Adam though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's our boy.
And he said he wanted to come hang or whatever, right?
He can come
Yeah.
hang every day.
Dude,
You can come hang right now.
I mean, talk about a guy who gets it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Talk about a guy who is not in it for like the money, but just in it because he really legitimately loves doing this fucking shit.
And also, the little Imperial Guard he was working on the other day had he had a plasma pistol and a sword, and I was like, heroic sword pose, and he like instantly saw it on his face. He was like, "Yeah, that's actually why I did it. Like I kit bashed it because of this reason." I was like, "Yep, this dude's it. Down for life. He gets it.
He gets it, and you could tell from the videos, even if the videos, because sometimes a lot of his videos aren't necessarily about, you know, it'll be something kind of random in the hobby,
Yes."
but they're all fun.
But I will say he's also the only motherfucker that shouts out indie games on YouTube.
100%.
Yes.
The fact that like a lot of these fucking content creators don't even know what fucking Turnip 28 is,
Yes.
a huge game.
Yes.
And Uncle Adam is like, check out these top 5 games you could play that aren't Warhammer. And he's saying like
Which is
Turnip 28
cool.
and blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is fucking sick. Sorry, the boys drawing penises and they. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I added someone open up there.
Is this what
Their
you drew
cum
this one?
catcher.
That's really good.
I drew all this corner
Dude,
here.
this is nice. This guy looks like Guy Fawkes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
it does. It
anonymous,
does look
like-
like it does look like the anonymous mask
Yeah.
catching some jism on his tongue.
It's a good drawing.
Speaking of jism on the tongue.
Thank you.
All right, Gage, you're doing it this time. Wait, let me turn you up. You're number 2. Okay, go ahead.
Questions from the Hive.
Welcome back to another Questions from the Hive segment.
We have one question.
We have one question, but it was a good one. Oh, wait,
I
I
mean,
kind of thought about it.
We already answered like the other one that
Yeah,
we
well, it
ended
just
up
came
turning
up
the
kind of
episode about.
organically.
But the
Probably because you read it and we were all like, "Read! I want to read it.
this is a good one.
I'm gonna go about it right now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it." Now what are you doing? You scrolling back in your phone?
No,
No,
it's
it's
fucking lost
on his
it.
phone.
Yeah, I'm just texting
He's
actually.
on his phone, people.
So
He's addicted.
the question from a fellow Longhair, Mangling Minis. What game?
Oh, dude, Mangling Minis rocks. Sorry.
Also, yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but
that's
he's a
fine.
great guy.
The Ents
Oh,
lately.
he did
yeah,
that.
the
Yes.
bark Ents.
Dude, and honestly, if
I think he got his
anything-
parents to do it too, which is also sick.
What?
Yeah, he was like they made Ents also.
Who did it?
Mangling did.
Yeah, but what were you saying? What was the second part of that?
He got his
parents did
parents
it.
to make
Oh, that is amazing.
like what a cooler way to be like, hey, let's go get pieces of bark together, glue it into like a fucking creature, and we're just gonna hang out.
And they're like, thank God
I
my
don't
kid
think I
isn't
could ever-
addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
They want to glue bark together instead.
I wish I could
They're
get my
like,
dad
fuck
to do
it.
that.
Thanks. Oh, Jesus.
My mom would just straight up be like, no. Like, I'm
I-
very happy for you.
Oh,
and you can
totally.
do that yourself.
Yeah.
My mom might do that.
Yeah?
I could probably get her to glue bark.
You gotta get
I
your mom on the
agree,
pod.
Yeah.
She
Special
wouldn't
guest.
say anything. She would just sit here and watch us talk. But
But it'd be funny.
she'd be happy.
And we would all be like really watching ourselves and censoring ourselves and not saying swears and stuff. 'cause we're
No,
like,
that's-
Steve's mom's here. Shut
Steve's
the fuck
mom's
up.
here.
You can't talk about penis drawing. Can't be drawing penis.
Yeah, we
anymore.
can't do our
Steve's
secret behind the
mom's
scenes
here.
penis drawings.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the fellow long hair Mangling Minis.
Oh, sorry.
What games have you really wanted to try, but haven't had a chance to for whatever reason? Before we go to actual things, I'll say Rain in Hell, because we were just talking about it.
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
true. That's a
It,
great.
it has just escaped us, and we have to.
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah.
You
I
look-
feel like you guys did a lot more.
I mean, I wrote down 4 games.
I'm,
Oh, okay.
I'm fucking drawing a blank on this
So.
Right? Yeah, I'm like I have some kind of. Vague
I would
answer,
like to
but-
play more just RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't played D&D in at least it's got to be close to 2 years
I know.
at this point.
Well, it was our campaign that we were
yeah,
doing,
our campaign that
and then
fell
the brothers kind of
apart.
crumbled it.
Yeah.
What can you do? You know,
can you do?
sometimes inter-family rivalries that'll happen.
I still think we should do an RPG.
Totally, I think it'd be great. A pod.
Just get
pod one.
Paul back on here. We'll do.
Multiple
I mean, not
people.
on here. We'll just do fucking Cyberpunk.
Multiple people have asked for an RPG episode.
Cyborg
Where
or
we
Cyberpunk.
just talk about it?
You don't want to hear us fucking role playing.
Wait.
Why
is this
not?
an
People would
episode where
love
we
to.
are just playing an RPG?
We are playing an RPG.
Really?
I'm
Okay,
running it, and
listeners,
everyone's.
I think we.
This
could
is
do
a
that.
question for the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question
Question
from the hive.
Yeah.
No, it is
Wait,
from the
In the hive. Do you want to hear us do an RPG, like a live play? Because we could do it.
Yeah, I
It
feel
seems
like
punishing, but I would do it.
I would do definitely more of an indie one for that.
I
Well,
think
Cyborg was so
Cyborg,
easy
yeah.
and sick.
I think the general fear of role playing would not be magnified by the fact
no.
that we're being
I'm
recorded.
more. So no. I'm not
Oh,
even
I
worried
have
about
no
that.
fear
I'm
of
not worried about
role-playing.
that.
I saw the look in your eye. I'm
I
like,
f-
that's probably where he's going.
No,
No,
I don't give a shit.
He's, yeah,
Me,
he's
it's more
also
that
very-
I know there's lots of podcasts where people just play D&D.
Yes.
Me personally, I don't see the appeal in that, so it's
Right.
hard for me to understand why people want. But just the sound of people throwing dice, like the last episode we put out, I'm like, I wouldn't fucking want to listen to this.
We'll use a
do
dice.
you guys?
Yeah, we would
do
use
you
dice.
guys like listening to that?
Well, if we're playing
so-
something like Cyborg, where it's like you're literally just rolling, it's like fucking playing Forbidden Salt. You're just rolling and trying to get above this, adding this. It's super easy, super straightforward. So it's D&D.
pace.
You know, 5e is streamlined, but it's still crunchy if you like compare.
I wouldn't
to-
do 5e
No,
if we
dude,
did it.
that would be a lot more rolling than you want to do.
No.
You want to
You
make
even
that
use
game
Fate.
move fast.
I would do. I
mean,
do
I would like to
Fate
play some
or Into
5e.
the Odd or something very light.
Yeah.
But that was Phil's answer.
No, that's really good. Steve, go next. Gage is looking at me trying to get me to go next. Steve, you go next.
I mean, most of my lists are video games.
No, do it, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, sure.
I want to fucking play that game Firewatch real bad because I've been on a narrative like game kick lately.
So that game rocks.
that's right here.
Danny's played through it a couple times. We have the soundtrack.
Does it have multiple playthroughs?
You can do things a little differently, but the story is kind of the story.
Okay.
There's different endings, but it rocks. You should play it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean, you're playing Life is Strange right now.
yeah, and I'm gonna play Alan Wake next, just to like get ready for Alan Wake 2 to come out.
Now, are these?
Yo, if you fuck with Alan Wake, you should play Control. It's made by the same people.
I
It's
heard, yeah. I
have
fucking
Control.
so goddamn
Remedy,
good.
Remedy Games.
Yeah, Remedy.
The
yeah.
dude who made like Max Payne, all that shit.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
have control.
Control.
But your PS4
It's just
is
X-Files,
kinda
right?
broken.
What's that?
PS4 is kind of broken.
The PS4 that I sold you?
Yeah,
How'd you
yeah.
break it?
Well, I didn't break it, but I think the dust tray is kind of fucking
just
jammed
gotta
up. It
clean
keeps
it.
spitting out
Oh.
games. Yeah, I got to take it apart and clean it. But I have control, and I've always wanted to play it.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's like
Isn't it just like X-Files shit?
It's like SCP
Yeah.
meets X Files. It's
very sick.
fucking cool.
So I should play that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, I'll
I
play
did
that
beat it. It's really hard. I think it's probably. I feel like it's probably easier to play with mouse and keyboard than it is a controller. Because
Well,
I
that's
got,
funny.
dude, I got like 75-80% of the way through the game, and I could not fucking.
It's very funny because
I
I've
was
been
just
playing
getting-
on my couch lately, like with a controller.
With a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
with it-
I'm
I put my my computer in my living room in front of my TV. And I plug
okay.
in a
I was saying
controller.
I'm bad at video games in general, so that
Blasphemy.
You know, I'm maybe
Isn't that
not a
great?
good bellwether. And there's no you can't fucking lower the difficulty or anything.
Yeah.
I like that.
I play every game on easy.
Oh yeah, same.
Dude, I started
Really?
doing that,
Yeah.
and it made my life.
I'm looking
way
It makes
from-
it fun,
Yes.
and I can
To me,
read
I-
the story. Like
Yep.
have
Gaming to me is not so much about a challenge as it is about exploration and narrative.
yes,
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I love big stupid open world games.
You got to get Baldur's Gate, bro. You have to.
I got other things to do. I still
Baldur's
I
Gate.
got
I'll
to
put too
I got to
many hours
act,
in
in a
act
fucking month, Starfield comes out.
yeah.
What's
I-
Starfield?
that?
It's
Starf-
the new
It's Elder
Bethesda-
Scrolls in space.
Yeah, it's the same
Without
company.
boring you with everything.
No shit, dude.
yeah.
What?
Is the reason that a new Elder Scrolls game hasn't come out since 2012?
care.
is
There's
because
a way
they've been
better.
working
There's a
on-
whole like what is this whole solar system, right?
Yes,
That you can
yes.
explore.
Dude, hopefully they don't rush this through development. And
No,
try and get
no.
it
It's
out
been
like
in
that.
development for over
You are
a decade
so
anyway.
cute, Terry, not knowing anything. This game has been
Shut the fuck
delayed
up.
40 times over
Oh,
the
really?
last, 10 years.
Well, listen, I would rather any creative thing be delayed
yes.
than put out like rush to.
Everyone is
finish
joking. The
shit.
reason Skyrim has come out on 40 different... You can play Skyrim on your
yeah.
fucking Alexa. It's because they're trying to just keep funding Starfield to make sure it doesn't become a blunder.
Listen,
Well,
that sounds
and it's delaying
amazing,
them making
though.
the next
Correct.
one.
Correct.
That sounds so cool.
Yes.
It's going to be the next game.
Now
Hopefully.
that will probably only be on like computer and
it's on
PS5 and
next
shit.
gen
and-
console.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I hate buying fucking video game shit because I never play video games, and so like the justification.
When we
is
have a
not
studio,
there. That's true.
I'll literally
We'll
use
just
my
PS5, baby.
my Netflix PS5 can just go to the fucking. I don't use it for anything at this
Fuck
point.
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds sick.
Mall.
All right,
anyway, what else?
Firewatch. I really wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online.
Dude, whatever you want.
Yes,
bro.
it's fun. Have you played it before?
No, that's why it's games
cool.
I haven't played. I want to play that game.
The environments are cool. The way
Yep.
that the classes are so fucking cool
Yep.
that you can
It
just
feels like Elder Scrolls.
you
right?
can
It
like
doesn't-
multi.
yes.
Yep, yeah. All you're doing is just skilling things up the same way you would in Elder Scrolls.
My only complaint.
You can supplementally also be a werewolf or a vampire in
Yes,
addition
yes.
to your class.
My only complaint with it, and I think this would be true for you as well, as a World of Warcraft player, you've played through the games. When a new expansion came out, you knew there were quest lines you just don't fucking care about because you're only doing the newest and latest greatest. This game is so big that you have to be self-disciplined to follow quest lines.
See, that's what I
Yeah,
heard.
that's
Like,
yeah.
you go to
that's
a
why.
town,
That's
you
honestly
cannot
that's why
take
I
every
fell
quest.
off.
oh my
You
god,
have
you
to-
go to a town, there's 400 fucking exclamation points.
But the game's not about taking quests though. It's,
not at
it-
fucking
It's like an
all.
Elder Scrolls.
You can
game.
end game raid in it, but it's not WoW. It will never be WoW, and they don't want to be WoW. They have like farmable raids, but it's 100%.
Maybe I'll
played
get into it. It's
as
like $4 right now. So
you can play it free.
why is it $4 then?
You have to purchase the game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
the game is.
I
free.
thought
Yeah,
you were
there's
talking
no
about a monthly.
subscription,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
no subscription.
Now, what's the deal with Firewatch?
It's a narrative single player game.
where you were literally like a forest fire, like
Yeah,
you're just a
okay.
guy that hangs out in the tower to report forest fires or something.
And
like
there's
that.
like a story.
and it's like a
going
mystery story.
Dude, that's kind of fun.
on.
It's sick.
It has
You would
it has like a
I would like it,
has
but
a fairly unique art style
The
too.
soundtrack is fucking phenomenal.
Dude, that's like a job that I would love to do. Be a Firewatch guy in like the Pacific Northwest would be the sickest.
Oh,
thing in the world.
PNW, bro.
Yeah, PNW.
That's what we
Dubs.
say.
Yeah,
yeah.
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 I think that
PNW.
would be fucking sick.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Do you think
Live in your little cabin.
they don't
with your
have that
minis.
shit around here, right? We don't
maybe
really
in
have-
New Hampshire and
New Hampshire
Maine.
and Vermont absolutely does.
Oh yeah, dude, you should try and do something like that.
Yeah, I think you
Just
really
live there
don't
for the
understand what's going on
dude,
in
yeah.
in Maine as far as how vast and developed
Yeah.
northern Maine
which is so cool.
northern Maine, Bigfoot hotspot. That's just Firewatch. That's like what it looks like.
Oh, I thought you were
That's the
just
art
showing me a
style.
video of somebody starting a wildfire.
No, it's like
Oh, dude, it's beautiful.
yeah.
It looks very like
It's just like an
Journey.
environment. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
yeah,
walking
you know what I mean,
simulator.
like-
Yeah.
Dude, that guy who
It's got a
developed
story.
because Journey was made by the same guy who made Flower, right? And Flow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Those
I
art
know.
games?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And
I don't know if it's by
Flower,
the same
Flower,
guy,
you're
though.
blowing in the wind.
Oh yeah, and Flow, you're like the little wormy thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, holy shit.
That
I have not thought about that in a long
guy's
time.
one of
Played
my
it and then
favorite-
forgot about it immediately.
Yeah.
that guy's one of my favorite people. That and the
Wow.
with the Katamari games. Is that it?
Oh, Katamari.
Damase.
Yeah.
Damasi.
Yeah, those
Dum-
games
Dimmadome?
like that guy. As far as creative ideas, talk about a guy who will not. He doesn't fucking give a shit. He will just.
He will not
wants to
sacrifice quality.
Yes, he wants, and even if it's like it falls flat and it's like, oh, nobody really got this game.
Right.
He's like actively trying to be subversive and make things that are different and that people haven't seen before. And same thing with I forget who the guy. Both of them I think are Japanese, and so I could.
Kojima.
I got two more. Fallout 76. Only because the weird cryptid fucking bullshit in it, but I hear the game's like not even worth playing.
No, it's
What is it?
It's worth playing now.
Oh, is it?
The launch was terrible.
Oh, Fallout 76. I heard. I think
Yeah.
from you that it was really
Chippendale
good.
plays it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It sounds cool.
I heard
we
it's
should
really
play
good.
it.
I will play any game with my friends. I will play any game.
Bro, I say this. Terry called me out. for
Hand
this.
simulator. Let's fucking play. I want to play the revolver game. the
Shower
fucking-
with your dad simulator.
Yeah,
let's
go.
play.
Name a time.
Name a time.
Name
Let's
a
fucking
time.
go.
That's Gage's.
That's it.
That's like Gage Bergman. Name a time.
And then the last
Name
one.
a time.
I want to play Star Wars Legion, but only the skirmish version.
Shatterpoint, but with
No. Is Shatterpoint the one with a squad and like a leader?
well, it's the one that's like 50 millimeters.
no.
or
Oh,
something
Shatterpoint
stupid.
looks it's like the same scale as MCP, I believe.
Boo.
No, don't want that.
Dude, any of that shit where you're it
No,
drives
it's-
me insane.
28
It's
or
literally
die.
Legion
Yeah.
with those models. And it's just a skirmish.
And I'd be down for that. I would love to play like Star Wars 28, like a Shatterpoint, using the same rules as Shatterpoint, but just playing games.
you know who
with
I can
small
call out
models.
right now?
Who?
Yes.
Q-Minis.
Oh.
Renzo.
Renz? What's Renz up to?
Should be. This is why I'm calling him out. Should be finishing his Ewok hunt
Oh, dude.
variant of Star Wars Legion.
That's
Because
cool.
I
What?
sent him the picture of the models, and I was like, dude, you got to do it now. And he was
He's
like,
writing
fuck,
like
I have
a game?
to.
Or he's
I
making
told
some models?
No, I think he's writing the game for it. I
Bro.
told him he had to.
I would fucking love that.
Dude,
Turn
yeah.
all the lights off. We just have some candles
So-
lit. Fucking
so Terry-
real scary.
Ewoks.
Listen, I'm familiar. The bear people.
No,
like
I wasn't going to describe Ewoks.
Okay, thank you.
Can you
Ewoks,
you
good?
describe me an Ewok? What do you think? Of
All
an
right,
Ewok?
little fucking teddy bear looking.
Yeah, you're fine.
motherfucker.
You're
Got
fine.
a little hat on.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
now,
fine.
now picture this. Yeah, yeah. Get all that.
yeah.
Picture this. You're in the woods
Yeah.
at night.
Uh-huh.
Your
Dark as
ship,
shit.
Your ship has landed, like crash landed, and you are stranded in this forest.
Evac is not coming for 10 minutes.
And in the
Alright.
distance, you hear, and then your buddy next to you, all of a sudden his flashlight goes out and he's gone.
Spear through his chest, dead, gone.
Shit, dude. What? This rocks.
Yeah, and now you hear in the distance another Ewok.
A bolas hits your buddy in the head, cracks his fucking skull open. He's dead.
It's just you now. You have to get to this evac point. It's not coming for another minute. You have to survive.
Damn.
That's
Ewok
Ewok hunt.
Dude, this is sick.
But yeah, so in a tabletop format.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
Ewok Hunt is a game that came out with Battlefront 2 when that game.
Oh,
going
so it's
on.
like an actual. It was like
Yes.
a pre-existing game, and then we're just
Yeah, it's like a
Renzo's
mini
turning
game.
it
Yeah,
into-
in Battlefront.
Because I sent him the picture of the new Ewok models.
Yeah.
Oh, they're probably not new at this point, but they were at the store. And I was like, dude, we've been playing this a lot, so you need to make the tabletop version of it. He's like, yes. He goes, I haven't wrote anything in a while.
He's so cool.
He was like, I have to.
I miss him. It's been
It'd be
a
so
Yeah.
easy. You could just make it better.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking the big
Yeah.
blaster gun.
We
I'm
wouldn't have to
taking-
wait in queue for 20 minutes to play.
Yeah. You don't have the guy
Mini.
that's just sitting there and is the
Cue
last
Mini.
one alive,
Yeah.
just in the woods somewhere.
AFK.
Yeah.
Now, I think I also have a shout out. White Tiger Tablecraft, our friend Dylan.
Yes.
I believe way back, he put out Star Wars 28 models. If I'm not mistaken, he was like, I'm playing Stargrave, but it's like a Star Wars variant of it. And he made like a sick little, like, he was using Legion models, but
I
also
don't-
made some droids and shit.
I don't know if that was his project, but I think he got on board with it
Yeah.
for sure.
But I remember seeing his models specifically, and those spurred a lot of me being like, "Oh, cool! Like, what if I took like Star Wars?" Which led to me writing that short story.
You
and
gotta
led to me
finish it.
Getting
You
into.
have to finish it.
I know.
Or,
It was
well,
left
issue
on
6.
a cliffhanger.
I know. Well, it's left on them walking to their ship, I think. Or
Yeah,
something
after they
like
just
that.
got in like a firefight.
Yeah, yeah. So now they got to go to the other planet and fucking see if they can get the bootleg
the
thruster,
planet's core.
the black market thrusters. Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
All right, what games are you looking forward to answer this crazy long question?
Well, see, okay, BattleTech, because I've never played yet, really.
Yep.
So I would like to, but that's like gonna happen in the near future.
It's natural.
Yeah. However,
evolution.
I would like to play that shit that fucking what was it Bipsy posted. Was it that like fucking hex tiles, old school war gaming?
Oh,
where you're,
that
like,
was
moving shit
Paul. That was
around.
Mordheim Paul.
Yeah, well, he posted.
He was
I thought it
making
was
fun of
somebody
us.
else.
He said, "Boys, how long until we're doing this?"
I want to
I'm
try
out.
those
Okay.
games.
So
Like the
when we-
Operation Doomsday, not even Doom, Operation something.
Or what's
and
the
it's like
one-
an actual like military thing, and
Yeah,
you're like moving
1940.
around like little things.
It's like cut out pieces of paper from 1970.
Oh wait, you're talking about that
Yeah,
thing
the
that
thing
was
Paul
ju-
sent.
It's
Yeah.
like
I
those freaks
did not understand what was going on.
in
So-
Meriden who do like where we were like, oh, maybe we'll go to this. It's like a wargaming convention,
Yes,
and then we
yes.
like looked into it, and it's like, oh, this is a
Historical.
war gaming.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not
It ain't
playing with
Warhammer.
models
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You're playing like it's
Playing
almost
war.
like role playing your
Yes.
way through a larger scenario, not with
Yes.
models.
What's that game?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of shit. There's a name for that style of wargaming, and I forget what it
Strategic?
is.
I don't know.
It is like something, it's more
Stratego?
like Risk in that way, but without models, even with
Risk
that.
is sick.
Yeah. And I would love to do like that kind of
Do you
stuff.
want to play the campaign for North Africa, the Desert War?
Let's
Yes.
see it. Yeah. Well, what does it
No,
call? What
that
does it
sounds-
categorize these games as?
Well, this is the world's longest game. It takes 1,500 hours to complete. So, haha, you're trapped.
but like, what kind of game is? What would they call that game?
Strategic board war game.
That kind of shit. Like that's what I mean.
Military sim game. They also
Yes.
had those play-by-mail games. Did you ever see those?
Like the mail chess kind of things.
Yeah,
Like you
pretty much.
send in a letter with your next moves, sort of
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I have always thought that was like such
So
a cool.
the Battle Center
idea.
actually just got a shit ton of them in, but you could play these like play-by-mail turn-based games where it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, some of them, the only ones I'm super familiar with are the RPG ones, but kind of what you're describing as well, those kind of war games also exist by play-by-mail, where it's,
That is
it's
so
a hex.
Just play via email.
I always
That's so
think about
sick.
how like I mean it's very like a romanticized thought, but I'm always like, oh, having a chess table set up and then sending a piece of mail and then that person sends it back and you move their piece and you think about what your next move is and then send out the mail. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
I-
like the RPG mail.
Yeah,
we've
so that's
talked
what we're
about
just
it.
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think that's so cool. Being able to like think out what you want to do and like not do it in the moment, but then be able to send out a letter that's like, okay, I've thought about it, I've broken it down, and these are my next steps. Where so much of role playing game is improv based. You're like, okay, snap, snap,
Right,
snap. But being
Long
able to
man's
think
game.
about it is cool. I love thinking.
Thinking is cool.
and sometimes you need to.
So that's what you're trying to get into
like
those?
though I don't know if I'm trying to get into those.
Yeah.
But I would love to be like led by somebody who knows how to fucking play those like strategy.
I got the
board
guy.
game kind of things. Is it your boy?
It's my boy. We can finally shout him out. I
he
wanted
gonna-
to naturally let him come out into these episodes.
Is he going to come to the
Yes,
Dice Fest?
he is.
Is he?
I told him he had to. I said our
Yeah.
relationship is on the line. So I'm referring to local legend in my gaming
Yes.
circle, a father figure at this point. My guy Leland,
Hell yeah.
old man Lee.
Yeah.
He's a 70-year-old man that I used to work with his wife at a shit job that I was previously at. And then when I saw the last names lined up at the machine shop I used to be at, I walked over and I was like, hi, do you know, is Patty your wife? And he slowly turned around and was like, why? And I was like, oh, she was just like literally the only person that had my back at this last job. And like, I loved her and I would do anything for her. And he's like, yeah, it's my wife. And I was like, oh, sick. Okay. Yeah. And all 5 feet of him and I became best friends after that. Every time I'd be running a machine next to him, I would just come over and I'd be like, so do you think cloning is ethical? And he'd go, ooh. And we would just bullshit for hours. Just
love that.
hours and hours. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, this reminds me of like this old movie I saw. He's super well versed in movies.
Sixth Day.
Very
Anything.
good.
Yeah. So
That's a cloning movie.
It's a good movie too.
I ended up he was talking about how he used to be super into Axis and Allies. Super
Okay,
into
yeah,
it. I know we've talked about War and Pieces, the shop, multiple
Yep,
times.
yep.
When they went out of business, he bought their entire paint collection. Like all of the racks are in his basement still.
Yeah.
Enamels for days. But and I was like, oh, you guys should try like some newer board games like Terraforming Mars. He ended up grabbing it and got his kids to play. They're older, same age as us. And it kind of naturally progressed from there. So it was Terraforming
Twilight
Mars,
Imperium.
then all the way up until Twilight Imperium, and now we're playing 14-hour game days with feasts the whole time through, his family, everything. We've been playing Gloomhaven for 3 years now. I think we're like technically 98% with the whole game, every single scenario
That's
possible. He just picked up Frostgrave. The box would not fit on this table. It is
What do you mean
massive.
Frostgrave?
It's
Like
not
Gloomhaven?
Frostgrave. I'm sorry, Frosthaven.
Oh.
So it's the Gloomhaven 2. But we're getting him into Warhammer.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening.
I don't buy it.
I'm giving him Death Core of Krieg to paint up in hobby because he is an amazing painter. He's
Dude, I'll
got
give him some
tips
tanks.
for days. Yeah, I mean, the problem is he's got such a passion project of working on B-52s for the last.
Use them in your Imperial Guard army.
Are
What
they
are you talking
28
about?
millimeter scale?
They are not 28.
Are they close enough?
No, they're probably like. I don't know. He's gonna kill me.
I would say
but-
War and Pieces, they're probably bigger then.
No. He had a lot smaller.
They're tiny.
He's doing a huge aircraft carrier that they're going on. He's got 14 of them, I think.
So does he like those kind of old school strategy games, like where you're running through?
Yeah, he progressed from them.
Okay.
So
interesting.
it's not like he still plays them, but he would be the guy to reference.
No, totally.
And also, a huge Hive Scum fan.
Hell
A
yeah.
huge Hive Scum fan.
Oh, he rocks.
Gage, in this episode, you said this, and
Oh, he calls me out all the time.
He did call us out. What is the first episode? He's like, "You guys are swearing too much," and it's like because it was our first episode, we all had jitters and stuff. So we're like, "Fuck this!"
It's funny.
Fuck that.
last episode when you sent, the last episode when you sent it to us, I was listening to it, and I was like, I think I'm swearing too much in this, and I thought about him saying that.
Dude,
I think at this
he's a
point,
father figure to us. You guys don't even know him yet.
Don't even know
Yeah.
him.
No, Lee rocks. And I don't know how we got on this tangent, but he
was
he
talking
would,
about
he
these
would,
games.
Yeah, he would absolutely hold our hand to play these games.
I think that, and I love terrain, and I love all that good shit. So please don't yell at me.
I'm not gonna yell.
However, I have been really liking the idea of sitting down at a table and being like able to sit in these chairs and play like a game that requires thought.
that
with
it's
Warhammer.
It's called a board game.
You can do that with BattleTech. Like,
I've been liking more board games lately. I've been
Yeah.
wanting to play more board games. I've been wanting to play more just like BattleTech. Seeing you guys play BattleTech on the RV, I was like, this is really cool. Just being able to sit here, have my shit, have it not take up a shit ton of space. I don't need a lot of books. I don't need a lot of like shit out on the table. I can just kind of play this game.
I mean, that's kind of like what Kill Team was for
Yeah.
GW. That was almost like the coffee table game where like we could sit here with that fold out map.
Yeah.
They all have those games still, though.
Yeah. Like
I
the
mean,
Zone
it's true.
Mortalis
We have like
thing,
Underworlds and shit too.
Yeah.
If you want to go that
Necromunda,
deep.
like Necromunda could have been a coffee table game. It's just you
Yeah.
want that 3D
No,
terrain.
I want to play
I
on a
want-
2-foot tall board.
And I do, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. And I also think terrain is very sick, but
It's more shit to have.
It's more shit
more
to have.
shit to have. Dude, but I am excited about BattleTech. I'm just so stoked to play. And Flames, too. Like, the Flames day is going to be so sick. I can't wait to have, like, little guys and shit. Roll up my little minis. Anyways, Gage, you've been waiting so long. What
So
games do you
patiently.
want to play and haven't, or whatever the question was originally?
I want to play anything that has like a Forbidden Psalm style prompt where it makes you creatively react to rolling a character or those games. So the Doomed should be coming in probably Monday for me.
What's the Doomed all about?
It's an Osprey game. I tried not to look too much into it because I didn't want.
Oh, I like that.
I didn't want the hype to kind of ruin it for me of
It's
certain
got the
things.
Osprey name on it, so it's already a good sign.
Yeah, it got that. It has that behind it, but it's kind of like a Monster Hunter style.
Another
cool.
Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, yeah. I think this was the one that has been in development, and everyone saw the things, and the community reacted. I'm gonna make one too.
Hey, good on them.
But all I kept seeing was Anna's involvement, Olive Garden's models being posted into it. I don't know if the mechs are in there, but she posted some kit bashes of
Yes.
the mechs available at underthedice.com.
Nice plug.
The like as characters in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're in the book. That'd be sick.
It would be sick if they were in the book.
Right. But everyone is saying how much they want to get into that game because of that reason. And just any creative prompt is really all I want. I bought Verot wood.
Oh, yeah. That shit look cool.
Where you have like a cult icon, big monstery
Yep,
guy,
yep.
and then like a little warband after
Cultist.
that. Yeah. Read through it. It's a totally different kind of combat system than we're used to. So anything to mix it up, I'm cool with learning more mechanics. But same style thing. You have to make a weirdo fucking cult guy and cultists. I just want to make more models. So
Yeah.
Those two are really like kind of what sticks out the most to me. Kill sample process is coming in the mail soon too as well.
That's going to be sick. That's going to be a fun one to play.
And I think that will also be like we make sci-fi future models all the time, but not really in that realm.
yeah.
So I think it'll be like cyberpunky, not
yeah.
so sci-fi fantasy where you're like making Marines.
It would be
But-
sick to make some cyberpunk shit. Like
Right,
the
right.
neon looking dudes.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Like I would definitely love to buy like some Tau bits or like
everything.
some
Dude, Gene Stealer Colt mixed with Tau.
Yeah, exactly. Like some shit like that so we could play that. But yeah, I'm mostly looking forward to games like that are making me stretch more creatively. So
That's cool.
that's really all I'm interested in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Something that we did do. Well, I mean, I guess I did it, but it's for all of us.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Secured the Adepticon hotel.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Now, what's the deal with the Adepticon Hotel? Like,
It's the same place we stayed last year.
oh, okay,
Dead
okay.
Fish Boulevard.
Yes, Dead Fish. No,
Is that really the name
though?
of it?
No, but there was a dead fish that was just slowly rotting.
Oh, that's
every
right.
day
Yep,
we were
yep,
there.
yep, yeah, that walking path. Yeah, I'm sure anyone that went to Adepticon and stayed there saw the dead fish.
To
Yeah.
be fair, like I
It's
love
crazy there weren't any fucking seagulls picking
It was
at
a
around
sign of Mordheim at
Yeah.
Adepticon.
That's true.
Well, we kept joking. We're like, we're gonna pick it up and nail it to the fucking wall.
Oh, that would be
cool.
really cool. We
Yeah.
should have done that. Just let it slowly rot over the next.
No,
couple
you
days.
clear coat
Yeah.
it, seal the smell. in.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I didn't want to stay at that hotel simply based on my phone interaction with them and the
How
experience.
fucking
last
rude
year.
they were last year. Yeah.
They were just as rude. This
Oh,
time.
last year when I had to pay for the room because you
Oh, yeah, yeah.
lost your debit card
Yeah.
or something.
You just didn't bring it, right? Is that how did it work?
Dude,
You
that's
forgot
the
your
move.
wallet at
That
home.
is the move. To go to a con and just be like, I'm not bringing my debit card.
But I love just like
no,
driving.
he lost it.
I did
like he
lose it.
loses everything.
You do be leaving some things.
yeah,
behind.
but now I have the Tile app. I don't lose anything.
Do you have Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Oh, then.
That's what he used
you're
mostly,
fine.
right?
Yeah.
You used
Yeah.
Apple Pay.
They
for
didn't
everything.
take Apple Pay.
Oh, cocksuckers.
Oh, yeah. Well, even though there's no breakfast there, I think Donkey's
Or a
is still
pool,
a better idea.
Or
the pool
anything.
is so
There's
annoying.
nothing there. There's nothing. That hotel sucks.
I think all the hotels in Schaumburg probably get together knowing Adepticon is happening, and they go, "We're closing."
Oh,
our
definitely
pools."
around there.
But the
you
place,
think so?
the
Think it'd
Hyatt,
just be too stinky in
Just
there.
knowing the fucking people that are going to be there. Yeah.
it's funny that this is the most expensive hotel. It is the closest one besides,
the actual
The one.
the actual
Yeah.
hotel, but they give you nothing. They have no amenities
I
at
know.
Yeah,
all.
absolutely.
And it is the most expensive. Whereas
Because
like,
they know the event's happening.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the Hyatt that we stayed at the first year, which
Dude.
that place was sick.
That place was pretty sick, but we had to take an Uber every day.
We had to take an Uber
Or
every
the
day,
shuttle.
which
Or the shuttle.
just didn't happen
Yeah.
some days.
Yeah, but so this was what I was saying when we were talking about getting a hotel. I kind of wanted to get that place, and then just if we're driving anyway, just fucking drive to the con.
I mean, if we're driving, yeah, absolutely.
No, honestly, that's not a bad idea.
I don't like that because then you don't have freedom of movement. Because think of like multiple times, like
Then you take the
someone would
shuttle.
have to like go back to the hotel, just take a nap, or
Then you
like
take
if
the
you
shuttle.
forget something there. That's so wildly inconvenient.
But
If it's not a walking distance thing,
Well,
And
then
also
you have an Uber.
I think
That
the
also
Hyatt was
is
like
inconvenient.
$70
Dude,
by
it was
comparison.
really cheap. It
Oh,
was
really?
really
Do you-
cheap.
like this hotel with the savings bullshit, it was like at minimum $140, and then on the weekend it was like $200 and something dollars.
I think it cost
That's
us
everywhere.
$250 for 3 nights.
every hotel
at
motel in the
the-
world.
It was so cheap.
When we yeah,
Yeah, I think it was $250 for 3 nights at the one that we stayed at first.
That's insane.
yeah.
So move-in week for when I was just at one of the colleges I was working at, I stayed at the same hotel every time. It's like $250 a night. The move-in week, it jumped up to $552 a night, just because of the move-in week.
that sucks.
Crazy because like parents are coming and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, to
Oh, okay,
come look
okay,
at
okay.
the college and stuff. But like, it's
They
nuts.
do they make you book that yourself and just expense it?
Yeah, I have,
Credit
I
card,
have a
baby.
card. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
But you have to book it too. You have to like call
Yeah.
hotel. Oh man, sorry.
I don't want someone else booking my fucking.
No, that's
hotel.
true too.
Yeah.
you end up at like I don't know.
Because like the first time they're like, oh, just do what the other coworker does, and I went there and it was like the dirtiest fucking disgusting hotel.
Yeah,
But
and then he's
no,
pocketing
thank
the
you.
rest of the money.
well, no, you can't really do that with our shit. But the breakfast bar was just like mounds and mounds of bacon, and that's why he booked it. And I was like, oh,
That's kind of
That's
funny.
very
this guy's
funny.
dealing with fucking bed bugs, so we can get a big breakfast.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously, dude. Hotels are something I try not to think too much about.
All the cum
When
and
I-
bed bugs.
I
Yeah.
know. I try and just go, all right.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
I'm not gonna question this.
Because I'm not a big germaphobe, but hotels, there's something about them that I'm like, just not gonna dwell on this for too long.
I guess I'm just salty because that first year the Hyatt was so nice.
Yeah.
Breakfast rock. The hotel
Dude, the
room was
breakfast was
huge.
sick.
We had a fucking couch.
All
Like,
the corporations were also there.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was it?
Battle Foam.
Yeah.
MMF, the guys that made the Dark Souls game.
Something Forge
No,
game.
Steamforge.
Steamforge. That was it.
Yeah, that place rocked.
And then it forced us to walk through the historic thing, which I
Yes.
missed this last year. I
Yes.
didn't
Even
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
which I
it's like
probably won't go next year either.
I would need to then take the shuttle from the convention center over there, and it's like, well, I'm not going to do that just to like
Yeah.
see
Take a
one room.
gander.
However, it was nice to have to walk through that place and be like, oh, what do you guys want to just take a look and see what the historical guys are up to and go see what they're doing. That was really cool. And the historical guys have more fun. I know we say it all the time, but they're a lot more fun than those sweaty nerds over at the other convention hall.
I don't know about that. I think
You don't think so?
I think you're imagining that. I don't know that you've had that much interaction.
I
with
think
the
that they're
historical
great.
guys.
I think that they're great.
Terry
I'm
appeasing to the 1% old men audience that
I'm
listen.
team old man. I want to play the old games now, and I want to sit when I play. a
Sitting
game.
down while playing.
I want to
Jerry.
sit while I play.
Speaking of playing games,
Uh-oh. I'm playing games with my heart.
I think it's about that time.
You want need me to read these names?
Before Phil reads the names, because he's the best at it, thank you guys so much.
I'm
if
the
you
literate
have
one.
signed up to be a patron on our Patreon, if you are interested in being a patron on our Patreon, you can go to
On the Patreon?
patreon.com/hivescum.
Yes.
I got it this time. You can go to patreon.com/hivescum. We put a half-hour episode up there every episode that we do, so you get a little extended episode. Usually you get us at our most caffeinated, too, because we record
We
it
do it
before,
right off the rip.
and so it's usually as zany as possible. And we've also been posting just some other random stuff up there, so kind of exclusive stuff and some hobby hacks and
Gatekeeping.
stuff. And like we always say, this isn't, like we said at the beginning of this podcast, this isn't our way of like making money. This is our way to be able to afford a studio space and make this more accessible.
Make this
to-
content not a financial burden.
Yeah. And also be able to like have people come to the studio space and like, have our own little empire that we start out of the mall.
Mordheim boards
mall,
on
mall,
hand.
mall.
You're going to have to read 42 names off.
I can do that.
Have you ever read 42 things?
Do
just
one
do it
name
fast.
per second. I can do multiple names per second,
One
probably.
name per second?
Dude, pull up a stopwatch when we
Pull
get
up.
these names out.
Pull up. Sorry.
All right, so
Read this name.
all right, we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Shout out to Adam Moskalik, It's What Evan, Orlando X Doom, Kyle Bragg, Zachary Zaringer, DIY Possum, Renzo Cavedo, Matt Knuckles, David Hoskins, Nick, Kieran Evans, Brandon Stewart, Michael Notaro, Seb Battistini, John Otten, The Wizard, Dom, Bryce Goodlett, Torben Kasbjerg, Jay Pickett, Tim D, Human Fly, Michael Medina, Colin, Old World Century Sam, Smash Bash, The Grey North, Ian Talmadge, Epic Taco 6, Ablaze McClure, Niall Nelly, Dallin Mayette, Maxwell Patel, Dylan Bauer, Cole Griffin, Frano Carrillo, Black City Games, Nadia Petey, Planet Piss Tyler, Kimmy Zergo, Cody Pfeiffer, Asa Wagner, a different Nick, Joe Vestry, Brad Porter, and Hollow Bodies.
Wow, that was good. And you did it in probably a little bit. You probably did 1 second per name.
Yeah, 45 seconds.
That was pretty good.
Oh, you timed it?
yeah.
So yeah, thank you to all those
Good.
friends who are patrons. Like I said, you can go sign up over on patreon.com/hivescum. Yeah, boys. It's been pretty real.
This is a good one.
That's
How
it.
real?
We're done.
This is a good one.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. Keep it
Keeping
raw.
it real.
Yeah.
Keep it grim.
Yeah.
Keep it grimy.
And we'll catch you next time.
All right, let's put our clothes back on.
Yeah, you guys put your... Thanks for checking out this episode of Hive Scum. If you aren't already part of the community, check us out at the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below. If you have any questions you'd like to ask us, you can find our Instagrams listed below or ask away over on the Discord. We also have extra content and other perks available to our patrons on Patreon, so if you're interested in a little bit extra and supporting our search for a studio and gaming hub, check out the link below. Until next time, folks, keep it grimdark and keep it grimy. Peace.